Welcome to my channel. We recap new manhwa. If you like, so please share and subscribe this channel. When Cheonhao opened the bathroom door, Lu Jinyan came into her sight, just having finished his shower. He was dressed in pajamas and was sitting on the bed, the side that he usually slept on. With both hands behind his head, he rested, eyes closed. Cheonhao averted her gaze before even catching a glimpse of his expression. Lowering her lashes, she walked towards her vanity table. The table had a mirror that faced the bed. Every time Cheonhao looked into it, she could catch brief glimpses of Lu Jinyan. Initially, she stole only quick peeks, but after confirming that Lu Jinyan never once opened his eyes, most likely asleep, she dared to admire him quietly in the mirror. Lu Jinyan's face was imprinted into Cheonhao's mind. She could remember every detail distinctly even with her eyes closed. Ever since the first time they met 13 years ago, she had never stopped getting butterflies just by looking at his face. With his eyes shut, Lu Jinyan seemed to be less cold. The frosty aura that he seemed to emit had also dissipated, softening his features. Mesmerized, Cheonhao forgot to apply her facial cream, causing it drop on the floor. Even if it was just a one-sided crush, just being able to watch him up close like this was enough to spread joy and warmth to every cell of her body. If his eyes were open, Cheonhao would have never dared to look straight at him like this. She often fell into a trance, mesmerized by his looks, and that could easily expose her feelings for him. Cheonhao's features softened, turning gentle as she continued staring at him. Impulsively, she lifted her hands, caressing Lu Jinyan's reflection, starting from his eyes, then moving to his nose bridge, and stopping on his slightly pinkish lips. The memory from 3 months ago resurfaced, the feeling she of when she had kissed those lips. Even though it had been 3 months, the memory was still crystal clear. She remembered everything, his soft warm lips. Cheonhao's heart rate quickened, her fingers continuously stroking the reflection of his lips. But just as she was about to sink into her own one-sided love universe, a phone suddenly rang, indicating an incoming message. Lu Jinyan furrowed his brows, seemingly annoyed by the disturbance. Momentarily shocked, Cheonhao instinctively retrieved her hands back. She suddenly thought of something and rushed towards the changing room. Carrying a human-sized teddy bear, she walked out. Cheonhao returned to the bed with the huge teddy bear. Lu Jinyan lifted his head impassively, sweeping over her with a frosty glare. Cheonhao's heart thumped uncontrollably. Not even daring to breathe, she clutched the teddy bear tighter and hurriedly made her way to her side of the bed. She placed the bear in between her and Lu Jinyan, separating the two of them. Only then was she able to relax. She took a deep breath and slowly found a more comfortable position in the bed, hardly daring to move. She had bought the bear after got married and had shared the same bed twice. Every time she got too close to Lu Jinyan, her heart would beat rapidly. Afterwards, she would get helplessly nervous and anxious. The very first time they had shared a bed, her posture was very formal and stiff. But when she fell asleep, having relaxed slightly, her posture started getting haywire. Unconsciously, she had reached over and touched Lu Jinyan. That night, he had pushed her away aggressively. The second night, he had pushed her off the bed before leaving the room. After that night, she realized the extent of his hatred. Even if it wasn't intentional, he found her touch repulsive. In order to prevent such an incident from repeating itself, she specifically bought the 1.8M teddy bear the next day. And the next time they shared a bed, she placed the teddy bear between them to prevent any unintentional touches through the night. The bedroom was dimly lit, causing one's vision to be blurred and hearing to be enhanced. Cheonhao lay on one side of the bear with both eyes shut. But she wasn't able to fall asleep. She could clearly smell the fresh scent coming from Lu Jinyan, which squeezed her heart. Cheonhao could clearly hear Lu Jinyan as he occasionally tapped his phone, producing a soft sound. After some time, he locked his phone, slipping the room into complete silence. It was so quiet that she could hear his every breath. Cheonhao had lied down too quickly. Even though she was in an uncomfortable position, she didn't dare to move much. Carefully, she turned, changing into another more comfortable position. Regardless of how cautious and small her actions were, she had still managed to disturb Lu Jinyan. He turned suddenly, flipping over vigorously. Frightened by the fierceness of his actions, Cheonhao lay motionless, not daring to move. Lu Jinyan seemed to be in a bad mood. He tossed and turned as though something was frustrating him. Cheonhao was unable to sleep either as she focused on him who was turning around restlessly. Suddenly, Lu Jinyan yanked his blanket aside, sitting up fiercely. Xiao Anhao trembled in fear, shocked by his furious actions. Not daring to open her eyes, she remained motionless. Vaguely, she heard footsteps and the flicking of a lighter. Gradually, the faint smell of cigarettes drifted over, filling the room. As far as Xiao Anhao could remember, Lu Jinyan was not a smoker. This was the first time since they married that he had smoked in front of her. She couldn't help wondering where he'd learned to smoke and when did he start. Lu Jinyan sucked in 2 long mouthfuls before glancing over at Xiao Anhao, who was lying silently, and the teddy bear beside her that was larger than her. Straight-faced, he turned his head. He walked towards the balcony and pushed open the windows. After finishing his cigarette, Lu Jinyan waited for the smell to dissipate fully before closing the door. He then walked over to the bedside. This time, after lying down, he no longer tossed and turned. Without Lu Jinyan's constant movements, Xiao Anhao was still nervous, but the huge teddy bear in between them as well as her fatigue overcame her. Gradually, she began to relax, slowly sinking into a deep slumber. Xiao Anhao didn't know for how long she had slept when suddenly she felt someone roughly grabbing her hand. A mind-numbing pain spread through her entire body, and Xiao Anhao furrowed her brows, slowly opening her eyes. Just then, she saw Lu Jinyan sitting by the bear, staring at her coldly. "Trying to seduce me when I'm sleeping again," he snarled. Xiao Anhao's fatigue left her. She blinked her eyes with curiosity before lowering her head. She realized that she had unknowingly stretched beyond the teddy bear into Lu Jinyan's side. She tried to shrink her hand back instinctively, but Lu Jinyan clenched it tighter, not allowing her to escape. With a tone laced in ridicule, he asked, "Why? You want to sell your body for another role now that the previous one is over?" Xiao Anhao paled at Lu Jinyan's ridicule, her face bleaching white. After the incident 3 months ago, his impression of her had gone down the drain. He wouldn't even listen when she tried to explain, ignoring the hurt. She whispered, "It wasn't intentional." "Not intentional?" Lu Jinyan laughed sarcastically, frost clouding his eyes. His snide remark next was merciless and cruel. "Miss Chiao, I never expected your lies to be as good as your ability to take advantage of others. That day, I'm pretty sure it was you who climbed into my bed when I was drunk, and if I don't remember wrongly, you were pretty enthusiastic, even begging me to sleep with you." Lu Jinyan's words pierced Xiao Anhao's heart, each word seemingly cutting deeper and deeper, leaving her eyes red. That night, she had indeed begged him. But she too had drunk alcohol. Slightly tipsy, mistaking it for a dream, she had asked softly, "Can I be your woman?" Xiao Anhao had never expected Lu Jinyan to use the events of that night to mock her. Her face flushed a deep shade of red. Humiliated and shamed, she pinched herself. Only when the pain from her fingertips overshadowed the pain inflicted by Lu Jinyan's words did she calmly explain herself, "I had no intentions of seducing you, I was asleep when I accidentally touched you. It better be the case. But get this straight, even if you were the one that started this game, from now, I'm the one in control. You can indeed gain benefits from me with your body, but that's only when I'm interested in sleeping with you." Lu Jinyan paused, then with arrogance soaking his every word, he continued mercilessly, "If I'm not interested, I won't lay a finger on you even if you throw yourself at me like the first time." With Lu Jinyan's every word, bit by bit, the blood drained from Xiao Anhao's face. She continued to hang her head, not daring to look at his expression. When Lu Jinyan finished, he coldly released Xiao Anhao's wrist and went to the changing room. When he came out, Xiao Anhao was still on the bed, in the same position as when he had left her. She looked fragile and thin, and with her head hung low, she looked like a student being punished. When the dim lights hit her, she looked young and innocent. Lu Jinyan stood by the changing room door, quietly staring at Xiao Anhao. After a while, his eyes lowered. He turned and left the room. Some time after Lu Jinyan had left, Xiao Anhao slowly lifted her head, staring at the side of the bed that he had been lying on. Moving the big teddy bear away, she buried her face into his side, breathing in his scent, feeling the warmth he had left behind. Xiao Anhao took in a deep breath greedily before caressing the blanket that still carried his warmth with her face, bitterness spreading through her heart. Even if he had said such cruel things, she still couldn't help being in love with him. Yesterday night at To the End of Time banquet, Zhao Meng had been right. They were never like this in the past. Back then in school, Lu Jinyan was generally quite close to the guys, but he would avoid girls at all costs. And at that time, she was one of the few girls that were on speaking terms with him. However, he talked to her not because she was special but because of Su Jiamu. The Su family and Chia family were very close, and she had grown up with Su Jiamu. Lu Jinyan was Su Jiamu's half-brother of the same father, which meant that Lu Jinyan was the legitimate son of the Su family. Not affected by the problems from the previous generation, Lu Jinyan and Su Jiamu had a close relationship and got along well together. Xiao Anhao had become one of the girls that spoke with Lu Jinyan through Su Jiamu. However, they were only on talking terms which primarily consisted of greetings out of courtesy such as hello and goodbye. Back when she was younger, without so much worries, she would always actively pursue her love. Even though she wasn't the kind of girl who could daringly confess to a guy, write love letters, or deliver chocolates at Valentine's, she would secretly look for him. Occasionally, in the school field or on the way home, she would catch up to him, greeting him casually while suppressing her feelings. He would either reply with a greeting or just nod his head, but that was enough to leave her basking in happiness. More than once she had dreamed of a future with him, but she could never muster enough courage to confess. As such, their lukewarm relationship persisted, while her feelings hidden deep within her heart grew each day. After she entered university, for a reason she did not know, Lu Jinyan started to treat her with hatred and disdain. Initially, she had thought she was too sensitive because of the love she harbored. One day, Su Jiamu accidentally told Xiao Anhao that Lu Jinyan had someone he liked. So the next time she had bumped into Lu Jinyan, she couldn't help asking him who that girl was. Even though Lu Jinyan had shown signs of irritation to her several times before, it had never been like that day. Even after so many years, she could still distinctly remember that moment. With a forbidding expression, he snarled, "Why would you care who I like? It definitely isn't you." That was when she finally understood that Lu Jinyan must really hate her. Even though she never found the reason for his hatred, from that day onwards, she started to avoid him. Just as she had told Zhao Meng, they stopped interacting from that day onwards. The few times when they had met, there wasn't much talking, and whenever they were forced to talk, his words were always hurtful. Because of her deep love for Lu Jinyan, Xiao Anhao paid attention to his every word. Because of her deep love for him, he could easily hurt her vulnerable feelings. Over time, she started to fear his presence, fear interacting with him, for every time he spoke, his words would trample all over her heart. She always thought that as long as they didn't interact much, the two of them would just part ways, becoming strangers. One day, though, fate dramatically forced them to become a couple. Only the heavens knew how happy she had been when she realized that they were going to get married. She was fully aware that Lu Jinyan hated her. That's why on their wedding night, she had made it clear to him that she would not interfere or affect his life, and neither would she let others know about their relationship. Because of her love for him, that night 3 months ago, she had seduced him with the help of alcohol. He must have really hated me a lot to have been that angry after sleeping with me, she mused. It was never her intention for him to think that the role was her aim, but she had had no choice. She could only use a materialistic and cheap image to explain her actions. Because he had once said, no matter who he likes, it wouldn't be her. Tears welled up in the corners of her eyes as she relived the moment he'd said that. After Lu Jinyan left, Xiao Anhao didn't fall asleep till daybreak. For the next few days, she didn't see or hear from him again. The three of them, Xiao Anxia, Su Jiamu, and Lu Jinyan, were of the same age. Xiao Anhao was younger than them by 2 years. To allow the two sisters to go to school together, the Chiao family had forced Xiao Anhao to skip 2 years in elementary school. The Su family and Chiao family didn't live too far away. On many occasions, Su Jiamu, Xiao Anxia, and Xiao Anhao would go home together after school. During junior high, Su Jiamu and Lu Jinyan liked to go play football in the field after school. Xiao Anxia would usually stand by the field screaming for Su Jiamu to go home. They were only in junior high at the time, but Xiao Anhao and Xiao Anxia were already quite popular with the guys. In private, people called them De Qiao and Xiao Qiao. De Qiao, since Xiao Anxia's personality was very fiery and outspoken, whereas Xiao Anhao was comparatively quiet and peaceful. The two sisters were considered pretty. Xiao Anhao was naturally more beautiful, but Xiao Anxia's personality drew people's attention. And so, every time Xiao Anxia screamed for Su Jiamu to go home, people would whistle and scream De Qiao. Xt. Xiao Anxia would arrive at the field with Xiao Anhao alongside. Though everyone was whistling and screaming at her, Xiao Anxia never blushed. Yet, Xiao Anhao, who stood behind her, would always secretly blush. When he first noticed it, Lu Jinyan had the ball in his arm. In his heart, he couldn't help but chuckle and silently make fun of her. They're screaming De Qiao, so why are you, Xiao Qiao, blushing so hard? But at that time, he never asked himself what Xiaoqiao's blushing face had to do with him. Perhaps he had already noticed her back then. The young man's heart struggled to understand what love was or what it meant to be moved. He only knew that after playing football after school every day, he would see her and feel relaxed. When he didn't see her, it felt like something was missing. For over half a year, he had always silently paid attention to her. Then, on one heavily rainy day after school, he finally actually got close to her. At the time, he carried an umbrella and was about to pull it out from his school bag when he saw her carrying her school bag over her head and running over to a shelter under the roof of a house. He didn't know what came over him, but he pushed the umbrella back down into the bag and followed her under the roof. He was listening to Jay Cho at the time, but he turned off the music as he stood next to her. With earphones in his ears, he heard the pitter-patter of raindrops. From the start, he never turned to look at her once. To be honest, he was a little nervous. It was not until the rain had died down and he was getting set to leave that he turned to look at her. As he turned, he found that she was staring straight back at him. In that instant, his heart picked up, and he quickly diverted his eyes, bolting away. After that, he got close to her again on their first day as new high school students. In reality, he didn't want to go to that high school. The tuition was a little expensive, and at that time, he had already spent all of his late mother's savings. However, when he found out through Sujomu that she would be attending that high school, he pawned off his mother's jewelry and used all the money he earned working in the summer to pay off a year's tuition. That day new students had to report to school, so he purposefully stuck with Sujomu. When Sujomu introduced them, he really wanted to say his name but out of habit he just coldly nodded. Sujomu gave her his name instead. At that time, it counted as both of them officially recognizing one another. To the very least, when they bumped into each other, she would say hi, and he would nod at her or sometimes, he would say her name. Naturally, his favorite place was the school field. Every night when he would play football, he saw her and her friends in the field running. Yeah. Actually, there was another secret people didn't know. That field was where the guys got together to judge who was the school's most beautiful girl. He didn't vote for her. However, in the end, she was chosen as every guy's most beautiful girl in school. At the time, he was happy but also distressed. So many other guys also thought that the girl he had his eyes on was the most beautiful. Later, he heard that they would be splitting the class depending on their results in science and arts. When it came time for the end-of-term examination, he left the last big question at the end of the math paper completely blank. There was no helping it, that was what he got for falling for a girl with bad grades. All in all, the idea was there, but the results were terrible. Who knew that out of nowhere, she would turn into a black horse getting into class 1. He, on the other hand, ended up in class 3. That day when the class was divided, he was in an awful mood. He laid in bed that night tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. With a headache from the lack of sleep, he entered the classroom the next day to find a pink envelope in his drawer. It made his mood worse. A week later during break, he and a few guys went to the school's snack shop where he bumped into her. However, she didn't notice him. She carried a lot of snacks. Just as she was going to pay, she suddenly blurted, "I forgot to get a small bun." When he heard those words, he walked straight up to the food section. He stood in front of a selection of different buns, until she would come over like they'd met by chance. At the time, he stared at the bread but from the corner of his eye, he paid close attention to her. Who knew that when she clearly said small bun, she actually ran off to the sanitary goods section. She stared at the flowery packages for a good long time before grabbing a sanitary towel and leaving. Sanitary towel meant small bun? Till now, he still didn't get the correlation. The longest time that they had ever spent alone was when he left the washroom once. He caught her resting on the wall, pale-faced, clutching her stomach. She looked like she was really in pain, and so he sent her to the school's nurseroom. As a whole, that was the most perfect afternoon of his life. It was a bright sunny day. She lay there on the bed not too far from him. He looked like he was reading but all he was thinking about was her. Later, a female classmate came over. After that, Xiaoanhao said a few words to him. Just as she was going to leave, she actually asked him if that girl before was his girlfriend. Did she misunderstand him? He hurriedly cleared things up. For someone who rarely spoke, after he cleared things up, he further explained why he was speaking to her in the first place. Secretly, deep down, he thought that after the class event finished, it would be best if he and this female classmate never spoke again. Truth be told, he never could be bothered by that female student. That afternoon, although it was the most perfect afternoon, at the same time, it was his most shameful afternoon. Because when it came time to paying for the medical fees, the bill came to $28. He reached out for 30. He'd earned that 30 that weekend under the bright sun handing out leaflets. But she casually opened her wallet to reveal a thick pile of hundreds. That was a year of his wages and more. Truthfully speaking, that was when he started to think about how he could work hard to make money. Just like what the male broadcaster said, love can't be measured by money, but without money, love would be impossible. For him, becoming a better person was to be able to love her. Furthermore, he loved that version of her, the girl who didn't come from an ordinary family, but a wealthy one. Truthfully speaking, he wasn't much of a talker, so he didn't enjoy hanging out with classmates. But every time Sujamu went out, he would call her, so he would go regardless. It goes to show that it was a good idea to go out, because later, he found out that she wanted to go to university in Hangzhou. Hangzhou was so big, and there were quite a few good universities. She didn't mention which one she wanted to go to, but even if they didn't go to the same university, at least they'd be in the same city. Hence, when the SAT scores came out, he applied for 3 universities in Hangzhou without any hesitation. Facts have proven, there's no such thing as the worst, but there's the worst of the worst. Though she said she was going to Hangzhou, she actually stayed in Beijing. From then on, they lived in 2 separate places. When he left for Hangzhou, Sujamu asked why he didn't stay in Beijing. All he could say to brush him off was that he was scouted in Hengdian to shoot a movie. Back then, he was in a terrible mood up until she, Sujamu, and even Xiao Anxia came to Hangzhou. That was also when he learned about the luxurious life she lived. No matter if it was what she used or what she wore, it was expensive. Back then, their stars weren't aligned in the slightest. He felt immensely pressured. After that, she would often go to Hangzhou, and with every trip, he would treat her to a meal. At the time, she never knew that there was a poor man who scraped his wallets to pay for her bills. Nor did she know that one meal of hers was a month of his pay. On his 4th year of university, when his acting career was picking up, he received a text from her saying that she'd lost her wallet and was alone at Hangzhou South Station. At the time, it was heavily raining in Hengdian. He didn't even change out of his clothes before renting a black car and rushing over. That night was the first time in their lives where they shared a room. That night, she slept well with a smile on her face, while he had to hide in the bathroom a few times in the middle of the night. That night, she didn't know it, but he secretly stole a kiss. After the kiss, he said deep down that he would take responsibility for it. When Lu Jinyan's car entered the city, it was still raining heavily, but he no longer dared to continue reminisce about the past. At her birthday party, Song Xiangxi asked him who Qiaoanhao was to him. He hadn't replied. If he were to reply now, Qiaoanhao. She was his deep, forbidden love. When Jinyan's car entered the city, it was still raining heavily, but he no longer had the courage to continue recalling things from the past. Song Xiangxi had asked him what Qiaoanhao was to him. He hadn't replied. If he were to reply now, Qiaoanhao. She was his deep, forbidden love. If he were to go back in time, back to the time of his memories, and someone were to ask him who she was to him, he would say that she was his deepest love. However, somehow, along the years, that love had become forbidden. From the day he had noticed her to the day they had hid under the deserted home for shelter, to the day she was officially introduced to him by Sujamu, to the day they shared a room, he had been trying desperately to improve himself. He had always believed that to love someone was to protect them from the world and not let them suffer with him. He entered the entertainment industry when he was 18 years old, with a total of 4 years, he went from the substitute to the side character that no one paid any attention, to finally the 3rd male lead. In the entertainment industry, not only females were humiliated, males were too, especially one with such an exceptional-looking face. Not just women, even men tried to keep him as a paid lover. He had always been blunt, offending the rich and powerful, thus often getting ostracized and pressured. Those 4.5 years were the most difficult time of his life, but yet, it was also his most blessed. No matter how hard the situation, as long as he remembered that he was working for his one true love, he would willingly plow through any situation. The last time he had sent Qiaoanhao out of Hangzhou, he had given her all his money. At that time, his new drama was about to air, and even though he was just the 2nd male lead, he was a favored character. He strongly believed that with this role, he would officially open himself to the industry. When he had watched Qiaoanhao queue up, He had still been thinking if the love he had harbored for so many years could finally materialize the next time they met. However, life would always throw surprises at you. In the end, he managed to take over the industry with that role. Every alley and street was filled with his news, and the success that he had been striving for was well in his hands. But somehow, his seeking for love, it all changed from there. Thank you for watching. Channel. She's back in Shanghai for studying. Annie, how do you feel about studying in Shanghai? Oh, it's just like Beijing, a metropolis, nothing particularly exciting. Why don't we go to Hangzhou for the holiday? Her friend asks. Ginny's not there. James, you can ask him out. James, okay. She couldn't help but feel elated at the thought of finally being able to see Ginny again. It had been so long since they last met, and the anticipation was building. But as she arrived at the meeting spot, she noticed that Ginny was not alone. He was with his friend, and something seemed off about his demeanor. Curious, she couldn't resist asking, "What's on your mind, Ginny? You should be thrilled to see me again." Ginny hesitated for a moment before replying, "Well, it's just that I'm not exactly in the best mood today." His friend chimed in, "Come on, Ginny. It's a rare chance to let loose and have some fun. James is loaded with money, anyway." Reluctantly, Ginny agreed to join in on the party. After all, he didn't want to dampen the spirits of his friends. They decided to head to the shopping mall for some entertainment and retail therapy, hoping that it would lift Ginny's spirits. As they strolled through the mall, laughter and excitement filled the air. Despite his initial reservations, Ginny couldn't help but get caught up in the fun. It was turning out to be a memorable day, and he was grateful for the chance to spend it with friends, old and new. Ginny decided to confide in someone about a pressing matter, and he needed to prepare a substitute for himself. It was a dangerous situation, and his friend couldn't help but express concern. "Ginny," his friend said cautiously, "you know this could be risky. Are you sure you want to go through with it?" Ginny nodded, understanding the risks but also feeling the urgency of the situation. "All right," his friend agreed reluctantly, "let's exchange QQ numbers for contact. And Ginny, promise me you'll be cautious." With their QQ numbers exchanged, Ginny agreed to meet again. His friend couldn't resist a hopeful question, "Will you treat us next time in Hangzhou?" Ginny smiled, "Okay, I promise." Over the course of 4 years, their journey took them from Beijing to Shanghai and finally to Hangzhou. Throughout this time, their tickets bore witness to the days they met, the challenges they faced, and the adventures they embarked on together. Each ticket held memories of a friendship that had grown stronger over the years, despite the dangers and uncertainties they had encountered. As they reminisced about their journey, a sense of nostalgia washed over them until the last encounter. Ginny suddenly remembered, "Oh, I made an appointment with my classmate. I didn't know you would come." His friend, surprised but understanding, replied, "It's okay, Ginny. I understand. Go ahead and meet your classmate." But Ginny's classmate, a bit nervous in this unfamiliar Shanghai setting, tried to strike up a conversation with someone nearby, saying, "Hello, I'm not very familiar with Shanghai. Why don't you go to Hangzhou, Ginny? You went to a race?" Ginny nodded, "Yes, I did go to a race in Hangzhou. It was quite an experience. But I couldn't resist coming to Shanghai to see my friends." Despite the unexpected turn of events, Ginny and his friends continued to enjoy their time together, cherishing the moments they had shared on their journey through different cities and the adventures that lay ahead. After the call got disconnected, she pondered what excuse to use to see him again. As she searched for her lost wallet, panic set in. Her wallet was nowhere to be found, and her eyes were filled with tension. In a strange twist of fate, she thought to herself, "Great. I've never felt so happy about losing my wallet." Her lost wallet seemed like an unexpected blessing. Just then, her phone rang, and it was Ginny on the line. He asked, "Where are you now?" She replied, "I'm at the station." Ginny reassured her, "Stay right where you are. I'll be with you shortly." She couldn't help but feel a sense of happiness, even though her wallet had been stolen. If it weren't for this unusual turn of events, she might not have had the opportunity to meet Ginny again. Fate seemed to be playing a mysterious hand in bringing them together once more. Ginny arrived in front of Anna, out of breath. Ginny had just returned from a shoot when Anna asked, "Are you shooting now?" Ginny replied, "Yes, I am. Let me take you to the hotel first." Both of them set off to find a hotel for Anna. Anna suddenly realized, "I lost my ID card, so I can't check into the hotel." Ginny offered a solution, "In that case, let's go to my apartment." Ginny stepped out to buy some food, telling Anna, "You can take a bath first, I'll be right back." After dinner, Ginny mentioned, "I'll be heading back to the dormitory tonight." Anna expressed her concern, saying, "But I'm afraid to be alone." Ginny reassured her, "Don't worry, he's very sensitive." Now, both of them were ready to sleep. Ginny laid down on a mattress on the floor, while Anna took the bed. In the quiet of the room, Anna drifted into a peaceful sleep almost immediately. However, Ginny found himself unable to doze off. Restless thoughts swirled in his mind, keeping him awake. As he lay there, he suddenly had a realization. He needed to share his feelings with Anna. This was the first time they had been in the same room together, and the moment felt right. Quietly, he rose from his spot and approached Anna's slumbering form. Gently, he leaned down and placed a soft kiss on her cheek. Then, he began to speak, his voice filled with a mix of vulnerability and guilt. "You know, Anna," he confessed, "I've liked you for a long time now." In that moment, he took full responsibility for his feelings, leaving the room filled with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering how Anna would respond. A little while back, in a cozy cafe, two friends sat engrossed in conversation. Their names were Anna and her close friend, Lily. They were deep in a discussion that had been on Anna's mind for a while. "Hey, Lily," Anna began, sipping her coffee, "if a guy spends a whole night with you and nothing happens, does that mean he's interested in you?" Lily paused to think and then replied with a knowing smile, "Oh, absolutely. If a guy spends all that time with you and doesn't make a move, he's definitely interested." Curiosity piqued, Anna probed further, "But what if he leaves you, not because he's not interested, but because he's just too fond of you to cross certain boundaries? Or, what if he's, well, not into girls that way, you know, if he's gay?" Anna pondered these questions, her thoughts drifting towards Ginny. She had spent a memorable night with him, and he had been nothing but respectful and considerate. As she looked out of the cafe window, a small smile crept across her face, and she whispered to herself, "Maybe, just maybe, Ginny really likes me." Anna couldn't shake the feeling that Ginny's actions had been different, special even. Otherwise, she mused, he wouldn't have put aside his work to take care of me so thoughtfully. These thoughts swirled in her mind, filling her with excitement and anticipation. She made up her mind she was going to write a love letter to him. As she confided in her friend about her plan, her friend's encouragement filled her with determination. "Anna, go for it," her friend cheered. "You can do this." With renewed enthusiasm, Anna set to work on her love letter, pouring her feelings onto the pages. Once the letter was complete, she decided to entrust someone else with the task of delivering it. However, her heart sank when she watched that person carelessly toss her letter into the dustbin. Fear of rejection still lingered, but Anna was not ready to give up just yet. She spotted James, a trusted friend, and decided to seek his advice. Taking a deep breath, she approached him and said, "James, I need your advice about something important." In a quaint little town, there lived a young woman named Annie. She was known for her free spirit and strong-willed nature. However, lately, her family had been pressing her about the idea of an arranged marriage, a tradition deeply rooted in their culture. Annie's parents, traditional and concerned for her future, had been trying to convince her that an arranged marriage was the right path for her. They believed that settling down with a suitable partner chosen by them would provide her with stability and happiness. One evening, as they gathered in the cozy living room of their family home, Annie decided it was time to broach a sensitive topic. "Dear, you have to consider that the Bradley family is incredibly influential, and James is their only son. He can be considered rare and prime husband material. Marrying into such a family could provide you with a life of comfort and opportunities." Annie, however, remained resolute. "Mom, I understand the advantages, but James and I have always been close friends. We've never had any romantic feelings for each other," she explained, her voice filled with sincerity. As the pressure from her parents continued, Annie's frustration grew. "Are Mom and Dad really going to force me into a marriage with James?" she wondered aloud. The idea of being pushed into a marriage that lacked love or genuine connection was unsettling. Annie began to contemplate her options, feeling increasingly trapped. "Maybe," she thought, "I should just go study abroad. I could hide away for a decade, and by the time I return, they might have a different perspective." The thought of escaping the situation and seeking her own path through education abroad seemed like an appealing alternative to the pressure of an arranged marriage. Annie was torn between her family's expectations and her desire for a life of her own choosing. As Annie contemplated her life and the difficult choices she faced, a familiar voice suddenly drifted in from outside. It was James, and he seemed to be discussing something important. Annie's curiosity got the better of her, and she quietly opened the door to see what was happening. To her surprise, she found Anna standing at the doorstep, excitedly mumbling about her love letter. Anna was speaking to James in hushed tones, a sense of anticipation in the air. She held her letter in her hand and asked, "James, could you check to see if boys would like receiving a confession like this?" With keen interest, Annie observed as Anna began to read her letter aloud, "I don't have much of a dream." Annie's heart warmed as she watched Anna's vulnerability on display. It was a reminder that love and emotions could be both complex and beautiful. Little did she know that this unexpected encounter would open up new perspectives and possibilities in her own life. "I simply desire to be by your side. My words may not do justice, but all I wish to convey is that I want to love you like this for the next 50 years. I firmly believe that throughout my entire life, no one else will capture my heart as deeply as you have. You may not have realized, but everything I've done since I first met you was all in an effort to draw closer to you. I've dreamed of you so often, and I've daydreamed countless times about being together with you. For as long as we're alive, I love you the most. Anna Jo." James was touched by Anna's heartfelt words. "Wow," he remarked, "which lucky guy could receive such love from you, Anna?" Anna turned to James with a pleading look in her eyes. "Oh please, give me some advice," she implored, eager to hear his thoughts on her confession of love. James considered Anna's request for advice carefully. "Well," he began, "the last sentence, 'as long as I live, I only love you,' is indeed a beautiful addition. It leaves no room for doubt." Anna's eyes lit up with delight. "Wow," she exclaimed, "that does sound better. I wouldn't want him to think I've liked someone else." Grateful for James's input, she expressed her thanks, saying, "Thank you so much, James." Unbeknownst to Anna, Annie had been eavesdropping on their conversation and couldn't help but smile. However, in her excitement, she had forgotten to turn off the recording on her phone, capturing this touching exchange for posterity. As Annie pondered the situation, a sudden realization washed over her, causing an immediate smile to grace her lips. She remembered a crucial piece of information that could potentially save her from an unwanted marriage. Determined to take action, Annie made her way to James's home. With a sense of purpose, she played the recording in front of James's mother. Upon hearing the voices of her son and Anna, James's mother was taken aback but quickly recognized the significance. She questioned, "Is that really the voice of my son and Anna?" Annie nodded firmly, confirming, "Yes, Aunt Sue, it's them." The recording held the key to unraveling the complexities of their relationships and desires, and Annie hoped that it would help pave the way for a more understanding and open conversation. Annie, realizing the gravity of the situation, implored James's mother, "Please, don't let them know that I gave you the recording. I just wanted to let you know that they are in love. They asked me to keep it a secret." James's mother, now aware of her son's feelings for Anna, made a firm decision. "Since my son likes Anna, I will speak to your parents and ensure they don't arrange your marriage with him." Overwhelmed with relief, Annie exclaimed, "Wow, thank you so much. I'm saved. My wish is fulfilled." However, as emotions swirled around the room, "Anna, I'm sorry." Her actions had set in motion a series of events that would change the course of their lives, and she wanted to convey her regrets for any unintended consequences. "I know I betrayed your trust, Anna, but I promise I will make it right. I'll repay you double for any harm I've caused." Their friendship had weathered a storm, and now it was poised to emerge stronger than ever before. Aside from Ginny's preparations for Anna's birthday, he had also ordered a special gift for her. Fresh flowers had been imported all the way from France, and they were exquisite. "Sir," the florist said proudly, "these are fresh flowers shipped from France." Ginny couldn't help but be amazed by their beauty. He quipped, "Wow, these flowers must have cost me several episodes worth of my salary." Despite the expense, Ginny wanted to make Anna's day truly special. He instructed the florist to send both the flowers and a birthday cake to Anna's location. As the flowers and cake were on their way to Anna, Ginny couldn't wait to see the look of surprise and delight on her face when she received his thoughtful gifts. He knew that the effort and care he put into preparing for her birthday would make it a memorable and cherished occasion for Anna. As Ginny eagerly awaited the awards party to come to an end, he couldn't contain his excitement. Today was not just any day, it was Anna's birthday, a day he had been looking forward to for a long time. He had worked tirelessly for 4 years, and tonight was the culmination of all his efforts. With a sense of pride and anticipation, he thought, "I only feel lucky to have you, Anna." Her presence in his life had been a source of inspiration and motivation. Jinny's heart was filled with hope and ambition as he contemplated the evening ahead. He whispered to himself, after I win the Best Male Co-Star award at the film festival tonight, I can truly embark on a successful career. The anticipation of achieving this milestone on Anna's birthday made the night even more special, and he couldn't wait to share the news with her. Everything Jinny had worked for over the years had been aimed at one goal, to become better and more skilled, also that he could give Anna the very best the world had to offer. He held on to this aspiration dearly, with Anna always in his thoughts. Finally, after winning the award, Jinny couldn't contain his excitement any longer. He was eager to visit Anna's home, share the good news, and celebrate her birthday together. As he made his way to Anna's house, the atmosphere turned gloomy, with heavy rain pouring down. Upon reaching the front door of Anna's house, his excitement turned into shock and disappointment. He couldn't believe what he saw. The beautiful flowers he had sent for Anna had been ruthlessly destroyed by someone. Jinny's heart sank as he wondered who could have done such a thing and why. The rainy evening had taken an unexpected and disheartening turn, casting a shadow over his plans to surprise Anna on her special day. Seeing the destruction of the flowers he had sent to Anna, Jinny was overcome with anger, frustration, and sadness. He decided to check if there was a love letter or note among the remains of the flowers. As he carefully looked through the scattered petals, his eyes welled up with tears. The love letter he had written with so much emotion was in tatters, just like the flowers. His emotions overwhelmed him, and his face turned pale as he realized the depth of his disappointment. Suddenly, Jinny's butler appeared, his voice trembling with urgency. "Sir, please come with me," he said. "Madam wants to see you." Jinny, still visibly shaken by the ruined surprise he had prepared for Anna, wiped away his tears and followed the butler, curious to know what Anna wanted to discuss at this unexpected moment. The mystery surrounding the destroyed flowers and the emotional turmoil within him only added to the tension of the evening. Jinny stood there, his heart racing, wondering what to tell him about Anna. As he reached the front of her, he maintained a respectful posture with his head slightly lowered. Her expression serious but not unkind. She asked directly, "You like Anna, right?" Jinny, somewhat surprised by the directness of the question, nodded and replied, "Yes, madam, I do. I care about Anna deeply." The atmosphere in the room grew tense as both of them awaited. Jinny's feelings for Anna were no longer a secret, and he couldn't help but wonder where this conversation was headed. Jinny's world came crashing down around him as he heard a shocking revelation. He had been so deeply in love with Anna, and he had never suspected that there was a secret so significant, something he didn't know about her. "You better give up on Anna," her voice heavy with gravity, "because there's something you may not know. Anna is engaged to James. The Sue and Joe families arranged their engagement, and they're deeply in love now." Jinny felt like the ground had been ripped from beneath him. The news was too much to bear, and he found himself unable to say anything in response. The woman he loved was promised to another, and it was a reality he hadn't even fathomed. Besides, Jinny. The rest of her words seemed distant to Jinny as he grappled with the revelation. His heart ached, and he couldn't help but wonder how he would navigate the painful path ahead. The love he had felt for Anna had been so deep and sincere, but now it seemed destined to remain unrequited. Jinny listened in silence as Anna's mother continued to speak, her words cutting deep into his heart. "You have nothing. How can you love Anna? Remember, Anna is the daughter of the Joe family, and even if her parents are no longer with us, it won't change her noble identity. She carries the legacy of her family, which you will never be capable of." The weight of the truth hit Jinny hard. He had come to realize that love alone was not enough to bridge the gap between their worlds. Anna's social status and heritage were a stark contrast to his own, and he could never provide her with the kind of life and security that James, the successor of the Sue family, could offer. But James is different. He is the rightful heir of the Sue family, and Anna is a perfect match for him. Jinny couldn't deny the logic in her words, as painful as they were to accept. He had to come to terms with the reality that his love for Anna might remain unfulfilled, destined to remain a beautiful but unattainable dream. The revelation continued to unravel before Jinny, and it became increasingly clear that there were intricate layers to this story. Persisted. "I just want to tell you not to cry for the moon," she said, her words laced with a sense of finality. "I think your mother should have told you to be grateful. Remember, James donated his bone marrow to save your life." Jinny's eyes widened in astonishment as he absorbed this unexpected piece of information. He hadn't been aware of James's life-saving act. The gravity of the situation was becoming apparent. James had not only helped him, but he had also saved his life through a selfless act. James' mother continued, "This, Ginny, is why James and I believe you should leave Anna for my son. James has shown you immense kindness and generosity, and it's only right that you should consider his feelings." Ginny found himself caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Gratitude and the weight of James's sacrifice clashed with the love he felt for Anna. The situation had grown even more complex, and he had some difficult decisions to make about his feelings, his future, and the lives intertwined in this intricate web of relationships. The revelations continued to unfold, revealing a deeply intertwined and complex family history. Ginny had been saved by James's incredible act of kindness when he donated his bone marrow, a selfless act that had kept Ginny alive. The debt of gratitude Ginny owed to James was immeasurable, and he understood the gravity of the situation. In a flashback to the past, Ginny's mother had once knelt before James's mother, pleading for Ginny's life. It was a moment of desperation, a plea from a mother who would do anything to save her child. During this emotional encounter, it had been disclosed that James's father and Ginny's father were one and the same person. James's mother had struggled to accept this truth, but Ginny's mother had insisted, "James's father is Mr. Sue. He is really your son." The revelation that James and Ginny shared the same father added another layer of complexity to their intertwined destinies. The ties between their families ran deeper than anyone had realized, and the emotions surrounding these revelations were profound. Ginny was not only indebted to James for saving his life, but also connected to him by a familial bond that had long been kept hidden. The emotional exchange between Ginny's mother and James's mother had reached a critical point. Ginny's mother, desperate to save her child's life, had made a solemn promise. I swear Ginny will never enter the Sue family and share the property. If only you would save him. Please save my kid," she had implored, addressing James's mother as "my lady." James's mother, moved by the intensity of the moment, had agreed, but she had a condition. "Okay, we are ready," she replied, "but you remember what you said." Outside, as James met Ginny, his excitement was palpable. He held Ginny's hand and proudly exclaimed, "Brother, look at my new toy." Upon entering the house, they found themselves in a hall filled with people who handed James a few red packets and wished him a happy new year, addressing him as Lord Sue. However, James wasn't interested in these monetary gifts. Instead, he surprised everyone when he asked, "Why don't you give them to my brother?" The room fell into shocked silence as James gathered all the red packets and, after a few moments of contemplation, threw them all out. His actions left everyone astounded, and they watched in awe as the red envelopes scattered, carried away by the wind. James's unexpected gesture showed not only his bond with Ginny but also his willingness to uphold the promise made by their mothers, a promise that would shape the course of their intertwined destinies. Ginny was left in a state of shock as he remembered the events that had transpired just minutes before. It had been a moment of crisis when he had saved James from a dangerous fireworks mishap. That was what James wanted Ginny to recall. Tears streamed down James's face, his cries echoing loudly in the room as he declared, "I want my brother." The depth of his emotion was palpable, and he longed for the comforting presence of Ginny. Despite the efforts of those around him to console James, he remained inconsolable, his cries refusing to subside. One family member couldn't contain their frustration and scolded Ginny, saying, "Why didn't you look after your little brother?" James was equally shocked by the revelation, realizing the truth of their familial connection. The emotions in the room were intense, as the complexities of their family ties and the bonds of brotherhood came to the forefront of their lives, leaving them all deeply affected by the turn of events. James's mother confronted Ginny with a heavy heart, her words carrying a weighty truth. "Ginny," she began, "you know how James has treated you all these years. Are you going to rob him of his love as your reciprocation? I hope you don't follow in the footsteps of your mother, becoming the other person." Ginny felt a surge of emotions welling up inside him. The guilt, confusion, and the gravity of the situation were almost suffocating. He couldn't bear the thought of causing pain to the brother who had cared for him so deeply. Overwhelmed by his conflicting emotions, Ginny made a hasty decision. He turned and ran away, escaping the difficult conversation that had unfolded. The heavy rain mirrored his inner turmoil, and he walked the wet, dimly lit road, seeking solace and clarity in the midst of the downpour. As the rain poured down around him, Ginny grappled with the profound questions raised by James's mother. The road ahead seemed uncertain and fraught with complexity, and he knew that he needed time and space to make sense of the tangled web of emotions and relationships that now surrounded him. Suddenly, as Ginny walked along the rain-soaked road, he encountered an unexpected sight. 3 figures emerged from the distance, stumbling their way toward him. It was Anna, James, and Annie, all coming from a party. Anna, clearly overindulged, was struggling to maintain her balance. James, concerned for her well-being, tried to steady her. "Anna, you're drunk," he exclaimed. "Ginny didn't come today." Anna's words were slurred as she responded, "Ginny. I was waiting for him, but he didn't come." James sighed, realizing that Ginny's absence had deeply affected Anna. "He's at the film festival," he explained. Annie, who had also been at the party, chimed in, "Yeah. I saw him receiving the award on TV." The rain continued to fall around them as they stood on the wet road, the weight of unspoken emotions and unfulfilled expectations hanging heavily in the air. The unexpected encounter only added to the complexity of the situation, with Ginny's absence leaving a void that seemed impossible to fill. James responded with a reassuring tone, trying to lighten the mood. "It's cool. I'll ask him to invite us to a meal next time." Annie agreed, saying, "Yep." As Ginny stood nearby, his thoughts were in turmoil. He realized the depth of his efforts to improve himself, all with the hope that he could win Anna's love. Yet, he had never considered whether she reciprocated his feelings. In that moment, as he watched James and Anna, Ginny couldn't help but reflect on the complexity of love and the uncertainty that often accompanied it. He had devoted himself to becoming the best he could be, all in the name of love, but he now faced the reality that the person he loved might not feel the same way. It was a bittersweet realization that left him pondering the path ahead. Ginny's assumptions had led him down a different path, but now, he felt like he was beginning to understand the truth. He realized why Anna had worked so hard to get into the same class as him in Class 3, choosing to stay in Beijing rather than going back to Hangzhou. It wasn't for Ginny, it was for James. As this revelation settled in, Ginny couldn't help but think, James is my younger brother. If he's liked her from that day on. The realization of the depth of their bond hit him, and he understood that Anna's actions had always been motivated by her love for James. Reflecting on this, Ginny knew that if someone were to ask him about his relationship with Anna, he could only respond in one way, "She's the one I can't love." The complexity of their intertwined destinies, family ties, and unspoken emotions had created a situation where Ginny's love for Anna remained unfulfilled, and he had to come to terms with that reality. The next day, Anna made an effort to reach out to Ginny, but she noticed that he was avoiding her after the events of the previous night. She grew increasingly worried when he didn't pick up her calls. Frustrated and concerned, Anna confided in her friend Mandy, saying, "Weird, Mandy. I feel like Ginny has been avoiding me recently." Mandy, puzzled by this sudden change in their relationship, asked, "How come? Didn't you guys get along so well before?" Anna sighed and replied, "I can feel it quite genuinely. Something has shifted, and I don't know why." The unspoken tension between them weighed heavily on her, leaving her perplexed and anxious about their changing dynamic. Anna continued to feel the distance between her and Ginny, as he refused to see her, citing his closed filming schedule. She confided in Mandy about her growing concerns. Mandy noted, "Ginny has become very popular recently. Even the girls in my dormitory have become obsessed with him. Gosh. He must like another woman." Anna's sadness deepened, and she picked a flower absent-mindedly, playing the childhood game of he loves me not. Each petal she plucked seemed to reflect the uncertainty she felt about Ginny's feelings. Mandy, on the other hand, couldn't help but get a little angry. She reminded Anna, "Isn't James going to attend an event in Beijing? Ginny will go there too." The mention of James attending an event in Beijing added another layer of complexity to Anna's feelings. She couldn't help but wonder if Ginny's distance was somehow connected to James, intensifying her emotional turmoil. Amidst the party, Ginny and James found a moment to chat while enjoying a smoke and some games. The topic of conversation turned to a matter of great significance. Ginny mentioned, "I heard that the Sue and Joe families will be linked by marriage." James confirmed, "Yep. I know it's meant to be a deal without love. As long as it brings benefits to the Sue family, it doesn't matter who the bride is." Curious, Ginny asked, "James, is it the older Joe or the younger Joe?" James's response was clear and direct, "Anna, of course." As the conversation unfolded, it became evident that the arranged marriage was part of a strategic alliance between the two families, and it was Anna who would play a pivotal role in cementing that alliance. The implications of this revelation weighed heavily on both Ginny and James, as it raised questions about their own feelings and the future of their relationships with Anna. As the conversation between Ginny and James continued, James made it clear that he found Anna much more appealing than Annie, describing Annie as too frisky. He expressed his preference for Anna, stating, "Are you asking me who I prefer? Unfortunately, Anna seems to have a crush on someone, not me." Before long, Ginny decided to leave James alone at the party and quietly made his exit. James turned around to find Ginny had disappeared. "Brother," he called out, but there was no response. In the midst of the party, after some time had passed, Anna arrived, searching for Ginny. Her eyes scanned the room until they locked onto James, who appeared just as shocked to see her. Anna approached James and asked urgently, "Where's Ginny? Did you see him?" James, trying to reassure her, replied, "He's just here." The mystery of Ginny's sudden departure hung in the air, leaving Anna anxious to find him and resolve the growing tensions between them. Anna, determined to find Ginny and address the issues between them, headed towards the area where she thought he might be. As she approached him, she gathered her courage to express her feelings. She started with a tentative question, "May I ask, do you have anyone you like?" Ginny, his emotions still raw and complex, responded with a blunt honesty that cut to the core of their situation. "I would like anyone. Except you." The weight of his words hung heavily in the air, leaving Anna to grapple with the reality of Ginny's feelings. The tension between them was palpable, and the complexity of their relationship seemed to have reached a critical point, with no clear path forward. The next morning, Ginny woke up to James's voice. James greeted him, "Bro, you're awake. You were quite drunk yesterday." James then dropped a bombshell, mentioning that Anna had come to see Ginny the previous day. Ginny was taken aback by the news. "Anna, she came here?" he asked, his confusion evident. James nodded and inquired further, "Yeah, what did you say to her?" "She seemed unhappy when she left." Ginny, struggling to piece together the events of the previous night, was left in a state of shock. What did I say? I don't remember." His memory of the encounter with Anna was hazy, and he couldn't fathom the reason for her unhappiness. Meanwhile, Anna was filled with sadness as she recalled the conversation with Ginny. She couldn't help but feel heartbroken, realizing that he might harbor negative feelings towards her. The uncertainty of their relationship weighed heavily on her, leaving her in tears and emotional turmoil. Mandy did her best to console Anna, but Anna's tears continued to flow. She couldn't help but think, "Fortunately, I didn't tell him. Or it would be embarrassing." The emotions surrounding her unspoken feelings for Ginny had become even more complicated, and she decided to lock them away in a metaphorical box, hoping to move on from the situation. Anna reflected on how she had prepared herself to confess her feelings to Ginny, but now she believed that everything had come to an end. She assumed that their relationship was over since the previous night's encounter. However, as night fell, a red car raced through the streets at high speed, driven by James. In a tragic twist of fate, James got into a serious accident and had to be hospitalized. Anna rushed to the hospital to be by his side and asked with concern, "James, how did this happen?" The news of the accident quickly spread, and it had repercussions beyond just their personal lives. The Sioux Group, with James at the helm, was now facing a crisis as their stock prices plummeted, creating turmoil throughout the financial world. The sudden turn of events had sent shockwaves through their lives, leaving them to grapple with uncertainty and unforeseen consequences. After a few days had passed since James's accident, Anna received a call from James's mother, inviting her to a meeting at James's home. Anna agreed and went to James's house, where James's mother had something important to discuss. When Anna arrived, James's mother greeted her and said, "Anna, I have something to talk to you." Anna responded respectfully, "Yes, Aunt Sue?" James's mother then led Anna into a room where a tall and handsome man was standing. As Anna laid eyes on the man, her shock was palpable, and she stammered, "James." The unexpected presence of James in the room left Anna speechless, and she was left to grapple with the astonishing turn of events. The mystery surrounding James's reappearance added another layer of complexity to their already intricate relationships and left Anna with a multitude of questions and emotions. Overwhelmed with emotion and disbelief, Anna rushed forward and embraced the tall man standing before her. She couldn't contain her astonishment as she exclaimed, "James? You're alive? I thought you'd never wake up again. It's good that you're okay." But amidst the heartfelt reunion, an unusual sound caught their attention. It was a strange noise, and Anna couldn't quite place it. She looked around, bewildered. Then, to her surprise, she heard a voice say, not James, but even Anna couldn't tell them. Anna was shocked by the mysterious voice. She turned to James's mother, Aunt Sue, and asked in confusion, "What's going on?" James's mother calmly explained, "James is alive." The revelation left Anna in a state of disbelief as she tried to make sense of the unexpected turn of events. James's mother continued to explain the intricate situation to Anna. She revealed that the doctors hadn't known when James would wake up after the accident. However, James was the sole successor of the Sue family, and the accident had caused many board members to divest their interests, destabilizing the family's business. In their eyes, marriage was seen as the only way to restore stability. Then, in a surprising twist, James's mother shared a revelation that left Anna astounded. She explained, "We want to convert Ginny into James because both look so much alike." It became clear that Ginny and James were not twins but rather half-brothers who bore a striking resemblance to each other. The complexity of their family dynamics and the decision to transform Ginny into James added yet another layer of intrigue and complexity to their intertwined destinies, leaving Anna to grapple with a new reality she had never anticipated. Anna was left in shock as the pieces of the puzzle began to fit together. She understood the situation now that James had indeed woken up from the accident but had been disfigured. Ginny had taken on the role of James, disguising himself with a sticker scar to keep up appearances. James's mother explained further, revealing that the noble lady who had been betrothed to James was not willing to marry him in his disfigured state. Faced with this difficult situation, she could only ask for Anna's help. Anna stood there, processing the weight of the request. James's mother finally made her intentions clear, saying, "Anna, I want you and Ginny to get married." The shock of the proposal hung heavy in the air, and Anna was left to grapple with the enormity of the decision she was being asked to make. The complexities of love, family, and loyalty had reached an unexpected climax, and Anna now faced a choice that would shape the course of their intertwined destinies. Anna and Ginny had a heartfelt discussion about the unexpected proposal for a fake marriage. Anna, after considering all the factors, had decided to go along with the plan. She reassured Ginny, saying, "Don't worry, I won't meddle in your life, and I won't let anyone know about my relationship with you. I know we're just fake couples, so we won't do things between couples." Ginny, though hesitant, accepted her decision, cautioning her, "Okay, you better remember what you said." Ginny responded with a resigned understanding, "I know. I'm aware of the situation. I am just a substitute. When James wakes up, I will be out." Their conversation reflected the complex emotions and the sense of sacrifice they both felt in the face of their unusual circumstances. Anna's willingness to go along with the plan was a significant step in their journey, one that would undoubtedly come with challenges and unforeseen consequences. James's mother asked Ginny if he was willing to go along with the plan, and Ginny, though initially hesitant, remembered Ruby's advice, play husband and wife with Anna. This advice seemed to resonate with him, and a hint of happiness crept into his thoughts. Ginny realized that by pretending to be married to Anna, he would have the opportunity to be around her once more. Despite the knowledge that everyone in the Sue family might harbor negative feelings toward him, he felt blessed to have this chance, all for the sake of Anna. He believed it was worth enduring any hardships, even if he would be wronged and disliked, just to be close to her once more. This decision marked a significant turning point in Ginny and Anna's intertwined destinies, as they embarked on a journey filled with challenges, sacrifice, and hidden emotions. Anna, too, felt a sense of happiness, but for her, it was intertwined with a bittersweet realization. She admitted, "I dreamt of marrying Ginny. I wanted to be Ginny's wife." Anna had yearned for a future with Ginny, even if they had to pretend he was James. She continued, "Even if people think you are James, this is the only chance to be with you. I don't want to part ways with you. I thought this was a gift from God, and once I got it, you and I would no longer be strangers." However, the events of that fateful night had shattered her illusions. Ginny's words had been painfully clear, "Whoever I like, it can't be you." Anna realized that her dream might never become a reality, and she was left with a profound sense of disappointment and heartache. Their shared understanding of the complicated situation they were in brought them closer, yet it also emphasized the unfulfilled longing they both felt for each other. The path ahead was filled with challenges, and their emotions remained as intricate and entangled as ever. In a quiet moment from their recent life, Anna sat with her friend at a table, and their conversation inevitably turned to Ginny. Anna's friend confessed, "I always thought that you and Ginny were only acting to hide your marriage. But that doesn't seem to be the case. How is your life with him?" Anna sighed and responded, "I hardly ever talk to him. It's been 5 months since we got married, and we've talked 3 times or less. The stark reality of their situation became evident as Anna revealed the distance that had developed between her and Ginny, despite their outward pretense of being a married couple. Their complex arrangement had created an emotional gulf between them, leaving Anna to navigate the challenges of a marriage that was, in many ways, only a facade. Anna's friend offered a pragmatic suggestion, saying, "How about you ask him for a role in some show or film? Since you can benefit from being married to him, you should take as much advantage as you can. After your parents died, they only left you so much money." The idea of leveraging her marriage to Ginny for career opportunities was a practical one, given their unique situation. Anna had experienced significant changes in her life, including financial limitations after her parents' passing. The suggestion highlighted the potential benefits of their arrangement beyond its facade and left Anna with much to consider about her future. Anna's friend continued to offer her perspective, raising concerns about Anna's financial situation. She warned, "It will be used up sooner or later. Do you really want to return and live under your uncle's thumb after you have no more relationship with Ginny?" The friend's words highlighted the potential consequences of relying solely on her inheritance. Anna, feeling a sense of frustration, "You are no better than a mistress. A mistress can get a lot of money after sleeping with him." The comparison underscored the complexities of their relationship and the transactional nature of Anna's marriage. But Anna's friend countered, "Shall I go there to sleep with him?" She seemed to suggest that Anna's situation was no different from that of a mistress. Anna defended her position by saying, "We agreed not to interfere with each other." Their conversation emphasized the boundaries and terms they had set for their unconventional marriage, where personal lives were kept separate, and each was free to make their own choices. Anna's friend dropped a shocking piece of information. She mentioned hearing that Ginny had been sent to the hospital with a high fever on a particular day, and Anna couldn't hide her surprise. Anna asked in disbelief, "How come?" Her friend elaborated, saying, "According to executives at Global Entertainment." The revelation left Anna with more questions than answers, as the news of Ginny's illness raised concerns and uncertainty about his well-being. The situation seemed to be evolving, and Anna would likely need to confront this unexpected development in their complex relationship. Ginny's condition took a concerning turn as he fainted during a meeting, suggesting that his health had deteriorated significantly. However, he remained stubborn, refusing to be examined by doctors. Instead, he left the hospital on his own, determined to handle the situation in his own way. Anna was left in shock by this turn of events, her thoughts racing. She couldn't help but draw parallels with James, whose own accident had brought significant upheaval into their lives. The situation was becoming increasingly complicated, and Anna was left to ponder the implications of Ginny's stubbornness and her own role in this intricate web of relationships and events. Anna was consumed by her thoughts about Ginny and couldn't be swayed by her friend's calls. She knew that Ginny had a strong aversion to hospitals and a tendency to avoid doctors, even when he was unwell. Instead, he often retreated to a secluded villa in Kashan when he needed solitude. Driven by concern for Ginny, Anna made her way to the villa, determined to find him. Her thoughts were solely focused on locating him and ensuring his well-being, despite the complications and mysteries that surrounded their intertwined destinies. Anna was deeply concerned when she reached Ginny at the secluded villa and discovered that he had a high fever. She gently touched his forehead, confirming his condition. She immediately went in search of medicine and a water bottle, intending to provide him with some relief. However, when she attempted to administer the medication, she faced a challenge. Ginny was unable to swallow the medicine, and Anna found herself in a difficult situation, wondering what she could do to help him. The realization that they were in a remote area with no easy access to medical facilities added to the urgency of the situation. Anna was left grappling with the daunting task of caring for Ginny's health in the middle of the wilderness, where help was hours away. Anna, determined to help Ginny despite the challenging circumstances, came up with a creative solution. She filled her mouth with water and the pills, then kissed Ginny, transferring the water and medication into his mouth. As Ginny felt the cool water and the pills in his mouth, a sense of relief and gratitude washed over him. He whispered her name, Anna. Anna's quick thinking and resourcefulness had enabled her to provide Ginny with the medical assistance he desperately needed in their remote location. Their unique bond and shared experiences continued to shape their complicated relationship in unexpected ways. In a moment of vulnerability, Ginny reflected on his past and the solitude he had grown accustomed to. He had become used to being alone and had faced sickness and injury without seeking help or sympathy from others. He had been ignored countless times, and there were certain events from 5 years ago that he wished to keep hidden. Jinny's introspection took place as he locked himself in his room, battling a severe fever. The isolation mirrored his emotional state, and he found himself revisiting memories and experiences that had shaped his life. The connection between his past and the present, coupled with his complex feelings for Anna, added depth and complexity to his character and the unfolding narrative. Amidst the media accolades and congratulations for receiving the award for Best Male Co-Star, Jinny received a text from Anna. Her message read, "Congratulations on receiving the Best Male Co-Star, Anna." Despite the external recognition and praise, Jinny couldn't shake his inner sense of melancholy. He had expressed many times before, "You are in my imagination. I know it's my imagination." He grappled with the feeling that his connection with Anna was too good to be true, as if he were trapped in a dream. Jinny's plea was poignant, "If this is a dream, please keep me dreaming forever. But I can't control myself." His desire to hold on to the connection he felt with Anna, even if it might be fleeting or illusory, added another layer of complexity to their relationship and his emotional journey. Anna was taken aback. She responded, saying, "Jinny? Only when you are unconscious, you will touch me. You're supposed to be unwilling to do so. When you wake up, everything will happen again. Do you know, Jinny? Only in my imagination. Dare I say I love you?" Anna expressed her emotions candidly, acknowledging the complexities of their relationship and her feelings for him. The boundary between reality and imagination had become blurred, and their connection remained a source of deep emotional turmoil for both of them. Despite the challenges they faced, their bond was undeniably strong, and Anna's confession underscored the depth of her affection for Jinny. Anna's heartfelt confession continued as she reflected on the significant portion of her life, from the age of 13 to 26, that she had dedicated to loving Jinny. She took a picture to preserve this memory because she was acutely aware that once Jinny woke up, he would likely forget everything, including the depth of her feelings and their shared experiences. This poignant moment captured the depth of Anna's emotions and the profound impact Jinny had on her life. The passage of time and the complexities of their relationship had brought them to a pivotal moment, filled with uncertainty and unspoken emotions. Anna's words conveyed a sense of longing and frustration. Despite being physically close to Jinny, she felt a deep emotional distance between them that she couldn't overcome. The complexities of their relationship and the aftermath of the accident had created a barrier that prevented them from truly connecting on an emotional level. Anna's heartfelt confession underscored the challenges they faced in navigating their unique and intricate bond. Anna's contemplation took a poignant turn as she considered the impact of the accident that had complicated their lives. She acknowledged that perhaps only when she was alone could she allow herself to believe that Jinny had been with her in a moment of intimacy, with all the affection she longed for. This introspective moment reflected the emotional turmoil and inner conflict Anna experienced, torn between the reality of their situation and the deep yearning she felt for a more profound connection with Jinny. The accident had left an indelible mark on their relationship, and Anna grappled with the conflicting emotions it had stirred within her. Thank you. Subscribe this channel. The next morning, Anna woke up and, after taking a shower, entered the room where Jinny was. However, as soon as she entered, she was met with an angry voice from behind her. Jinny's voice was laced with irritation as he demanded, "Why are you here?" Anna was taken aback by Jinny's sudden outburst, and fear welled up within her. She stammered in response, "I heard you are sick, so I got medicine for you." The tension in the room was palpable as Anna attempted to explain her presence, and Jinny's unexpected anger added another layer of complexity to their already intricate relationship. Jinny's anger continued to simmer as he confronted Anna about their encounter the previous night. He declared, "I didn't mean to do that with you last night." His frustration was evident as he demanded to know her intentions. "What do you want? Last time you threw yourself at me for a role in The End of Life, what do you want this time?" Anna, overcome by the intensity of the moment, found herself unable to speak a word. Her silence only seemed to fuel Jinny's frustration, prompting him to question her further. "Why keep silent? You tried to find out that I have a villa here and came all this way to get me medicine, and took care of me all night." Their exchange revealed the underlying tensions and unspoken emotions that simmered beneath the surface of their complex relationship, leaving both Anna and Jinny grappling with the implications of their actions and the nature of their connection. Jinny's suspicions persisted as he probed further, asking, "Didn't you intend to get something from me? Or did you come here for nothing?" Anna, still in shock and her voice trembling, finally managed to respond, I went for an audition for a role in Time in a Fallen City the other day, but I failed. She explained her purpose for being there, revealing that she had sought his assistance in securing a role in a play. However, she also acknowledged the challenge she faced, as the cast for the production was already well known and the female lead had been determined in advance. Anna's confession shed light on her motivations and the pressures she faced in her career, as well as the complexities of their interactions, where personal and professional boundaries often blurred. Ginny, having heard Anna's explanation, took a moment to reflect on her words. He then made a surprising move, reaching out to hold Anna's hand. Without saying a word, he led her out of the room. As they walked away from the tense encounter, Anna remained silent, her voice seemingly drained by the situation. Ginny's actions were unexpected, leaving her unsure of what to make of them. Ginny's internal thoughts revealed his own inner turmoil. He wondered, how long will you, Ginny, be dreaming? You know you are just a substitute for James. This moment underscored the complexity of their relationship and the emotions that continued to swirl between them, as well as the lingering presence of James in their lives. Anna returned to her home after the intense encounter with Ginny. Her emotions were still in turmoil when she received a phone call. With a sense of anticipation, she answered, "Hello, who is speaking, please?" To her surprise, she initially thought it was Ginny on the other end of the line, but it quickly became apparent that the caller was someone else. The voice on the phone informed her, "Hello, Time of the Fallen City will begin shooting next week." This unexpected call brought new developments in her professional life, leaving Anna with fresh opportunities and challenges to navigate as she pursued her acting career. The caller on the other end of the line continued the conversation, revealing that Anna had secured the role of the female lead, the female co-star, in Time of the Fallen City. Before Anna could respond, the caller remarked, "I see, thank you. Jin, Mr. Liu." Anna was taken aback, and it seemed that the caller had almost slipped in addressing her as Ginny before correcting themselves. Filled with mixed emotions, Anna contemplated hanging up, but the caller persisted, saying, "Ma'am, forget it. You traded it with your body. But it is worthwhile for this play." This revelation hinted at the complexities of the entertainment industry and the sacrifices and compromises that artists sometimes made to advance their careers, raising questions about the nature of Anna's involvement in securing the role and the impact it would have on her relationship with Ginny and her own sense of self. Anna couldn't help but reflect on the circumstances surrounding her role in the play and the compromises she had made. She felt as though she might be the only person who was hated after such an intimate encounter, and she was acutely aware that she was the only one who had access to her husband's phone number despite their marriage lasting nearly half a year. As she arrived at the shooting location with Mandy, the scale of the production became apparent. Mandy mentioned that the project had a massive investment of $2 billion, underscoring the significance of the play and the high stakes involved in their performances. The pressure to succeed and the complex dynamics of Anna's personal and professional life continued to shape her journey in the world of entertainment. As Anna and Mandy arrived at the shooting location for Time of the Fallen City, they learned about the impressive production behind the play. It involved a world-class post-production team and a talented writing team, highlighting the significance of the project. However, there was a notable absence. The male co-star had failed to show up on the previous day, raising questions about who he might be. Just then, as they conversed, Anna noticed two people in front of her. One of them was Mr. Sun, who greeted her with a warm, "Long time no see, I hope we'll have a good cooperation." Mandy then drew Anna's attention to the other person, revealing her identity as Shelley Lin. The presence of Shelley Lin, a fellow actress, added a layer of intrigue to the unfolding drama of the play and hinted at potential complications in Anna's professional life. Shelley Lin's arrival at the shooting location brought an undercurrent of tension to the scene. She made a pointed remark to Anna, saying, "Who is supposed to be the female co-star? Now she's female number 3 thanks to you." This comment hinted at resentment and jealousy, suggesting that Shelley might have plans for revenge. Mandy cautioned Anna to be careful, as Shelley seemed skilled in concealing her intentions and appeared to be friendly. Despite the potential animosity between them, Anna chose to maintain a polite facade and greeted Shelley with a simple, "Hi Anna. Long time no see." In response, Shelley returned the greeting, acknowledging the passage of time with, "Long time no see, Anna. You've become even more pretty." Beneath their civil exchange, the brewing tensions and personal conflicts within the entertainment industry added complexity to their interactions, leaving Anna to navigate a delicate balance between professionalism and personal rivalry. The arrival of two more individuals added to the anticipation on set. Caleb, a prominent figure, introduced Ruth Song, a movie queen, as the female lead. The second individual was Yang Qing, an A-list actor, who would serve as the male lead. Mandy couldn't contain her excitement at the sight of these well-known figures. She exclaimed, "Wow, the director, male, and female leads are all here, but where is the male co-star? Who is he that's so arrogant?" Anna concurred, noting her own curiosity about her mysterious partner. She remarked, "Yeah, I still don't know who my partner is." Just then, it was revealed that the male co-star was indeed Ginny. Mandy whispered in an excited tone, "No wonder there has been no news. It's going to be a hit." With the cast assembled, they were addressed by someone. Likely the director, who invited Mr. Liu, likely referring to Ginny, to take a seat. The stage was set for what promised to be a significant and intriguing production. Mandy's observations about the anticipation surrounding Ginny's arrival were interrupted when she realized that producer Sun was calling Anna. He acknowledged the familiarity among the cast, as many of them had worked together in the past and were acquainted with each other. The shared history and relationships among the cast members added a layer of complexity to the production, and producer Sun likely intended to address these dynamics before commencing the project. The stage was set for the cast to reunite and embark on what promised to be a challenging and potentially transformative experience in their careers. Producer Sun took the opportunity to introduce a newcomer to the cast, the female co-star, Anna. With grace and humility, Anna introduced herself to the assembled cast and crew. She expressed her enthusiasm about working with everyone, saying, "Hello, everyone, my name is Anna. I am glad to work with you. Thank you." Producer Sun then highlighted the significance of Anna's role by announcing that Mr. Liu, likely referring to Ginny, would be her partner in the play. In response, he encouraged Anna to say a few words, providing her with an opportunity to address her fellow cast members and share her thoughts as she embarked on this new venture in her acting career. In response to the announcement that Ginny would be her partner in the play, Anna gathered her composure and extended a polite greeting, saying, "Nice to meet you, Mr. Liu. Looking forward to the cooperation." Anna's nerves were apparent as she reflected on the complexity of her relationship with Ginny. She noted that she had learned to pretend not to know him before strangers, despite their history. However, she couldn't help but express her surprise that even in such situations, he continued to ignore her. Shelley, seizing the opportunity to comment, remarked that Anna was lucky to work with Ginny, referring to him as Mr. Liu. She emphasized how it was a dream for actresses to have the opportunity to act alongside him. The dynamic between Anna, Ginny, and Shelley continued to evolve, shaped by both their professional ambitions and personal histories. As Shelley expressed her desire for the same opportunity, she turned to Anna and inquired, "Do you agree?" Their whispered conversation hinted at the potential challenges and rumors surrounding Anna's casting in the play. Some speculated that she had obtained the role through less than honest means, possibly by accepting certain unspoken rules of the industry. Anna, already nervous in the midst of this discussion, found herself under scrutiny from her peers. However, a voice from the group, seemingly supportive, spoke up. They mentioned a popular saying, "Luck is a sign of strength." This comment could be interpreted as a subtle defense of Anna, implying that her good fortune may be a result of her abilities and potential in the industry rather than any shady dealings. The atmosphere remained tense as the cast navigated these unspoken dynamics and judgments. Despite the tensions and rumors surrounding her casting, Anna approached the situation with humility and a willingness to learn. She acknowledged, "Anna, I have a lot to learn from you. I will try my best. I hope we have a good time." Anna's thoughts turned to Ginny's unexpected help and support. She wondered why he had suddenly chosen to assist her. This act of kindness raised questions in her mind. Could it mean that he didn't harbor as much resentment towards her as she had believed? The complex dynamics of their relationship continued to evolve, leaving Anna with a sense of curiosity and uncertainty about Ginny's true feelings. Producer Sun engaged Anna in a conversation, asking her about her educational background. Anna mentioned that she had graduated from a university, to which producer Sun responded positively, saying it was a good university. He suggested that they exchange phone numbers for future cooperation, which Anna agreed to, expressing her gratitude. Afterwards, Anna approached Ginny and thanked him for his earlier assistance. However, Ginny responded in a somewhat rude manner, stating that he had helped her because he didn't want to get himself into trouble. He pointed out that he wasn't afraid of the rumors that she had obtained the role by sleeping with someone but wanted to avoid being drawn into such gossip himself. The tension and complexity of their interactions continued to play out as they navigated the challenges of the entertainment industry. As the day on the set came to a close, Mandy suggested that they should head back. She expressed surprise at Ginny's earlier assistance to Anna, noting that he still seemed to care about her. Mandy pointed out that they had known each other for years, which could explain his willingness to help. Anna, however, seemed incredulous at the idea that Ginny cared about her. She believed that his actions were motivated by fear of rumors regarding any questionable dealings with him rather than genuine concern. The complexities of their relationship and the industry's dynamics continued to leave Anna questioning Ginny's true feelings and intentions. Anna found herself contemplating her own thoughts and emotions, acknowledging that she might have been overthinking the situation. She admitted that seeing Ginny speak up for her had felt like winning a significant prize. However, these positive feelings were soon overshadowed by the painful memory of Ginny's cruelty when he had previously told her, "Whoever I like, it can't be you." Anna's sadness and inner turmoil resurfaced as she grappled with the conflicting emotions and history she shared with Ginny. Their relationship remained a complex and emotionally charged one. As the director called for a break and instructed the actors to make preparations for the next scene, the makeup artists went to work on the actors, including Ginny. Meanwhile, Mr. Su, likely a member of the production team or director, approached Anna and invited her to discuss the shooting for the following day. The upcoming conversation hinted at the professional collaboration between Anna and the production team as they planned for the upcoming scenes. During their conversation, Mr. Su inquired if Anna had memorized all her lines for the upcoming scenes, and she confirmed that she had. The discussion then shifted to dinner arrangements, with Mr. Su suggesting that Anna be provided with abalone rice and steak. Ginny observed these interactions, and Mr. Su continued the conversation by asking Anna about any other recent arrangements she had made aside from shooting. Anna responded that she hadn't made any, to which Mr. Su mentioned his friend's involvement in the sale of a major European cosmetics brand in Asia. This exchange hinted at potential business opportunities or connections outside of their film project. Mr. Su informed Anna that his friend was searching for a spokesperson for a major European cosmetics brand in Asia and that he was considering recommending Anna for the role. He complimented her figure and demeanor, indicating that she would be a suitable candidate. Ginny, the makeup artist, overheard this conversation and approached Mr. Su, requesting a private discussion with him. Mr. Su agreed and asked Anna to take her time, implying that he and Ginny would continue their conversation separately. The mention of Mr. Lu suggests that Ginny may have been seeking Mr. Su's advice or discussing a matter of importance with him. After finishing their shooting, Anna noticed a script on the set with the name Ginny as the script owner. Intrigued, she tried to reach out to Ginny, picked up her phone, and called him. However, Ginny, upon hearing her voice and her question about the script, promptly hung up the call without responding. The interaction left Anna puzzled and curious about why Ginny had reacted this way. Their complex relationship continued to be marked by moments of tension and uncertainty. Anna found herself pondering the significance of the number 1001, wondering if it was the room number for an actor. She also considered whether she should send the script to that room. Her thoughts turned to Mr. Lu, who had apparently become very angry and critical of the play. She recounted an incident where the producer had tried to appease him with hot water but ended up being scalded by his agitated gestures. Anna's apprehension grew as she reflected on her own experiences serving coffee in room 1001. The atmosphere surrounding the production seemed to be filled with tension and challenges. Anna's apprehension about entering room 1001 persisted, but eventually, she summoned the courage to go there. She knocked on the door, and suddenly, the door swung open, revealing what lay beyond. Inside room 1001, Ginny was standing near the door. Anna handed him the script, telling him, "Your script. I put it here." She then entered the room completely, placing the script on a table. As she finished her task, Anna said goodbye, intending to leave the room. As Anna made her way towards the exit, Ginny abruptly blocked her path and, with force, posed a question, "Do you want the endorsement? As long as it's profitable." This encounter left Anna feeling trapped and apprehensive, uncertain about how to navigate the situation. "You would accept any hidden rules, wouldn't you?" Anna was very nervous and scared. Ginny forcefully kissed her neck. It's important to emphasize that any form of non-consensual physical contact, including forcibly kissing someone, is not acceptable and is considered a violation of personal boundaries and consent. Consent is crucial in any intimate or physical interaction between adults. If someone is unable to say anything or react in such a situation, it might be due to various reasons, including shock, fear, or feeling pressured. Intimacy between consenting adults should always be based on mutual desire and enthusiastic consent from all parties involved. It's important to ensure that all parties involved feel comfortable and willingly participate in any intimate activities. If you have concerns or questions about the nature of your relationship or the events that have occurred, it's advisable to communicate openly and honestly with your partner to ensure that both parties are on the same page and that boundaries and consent are respected. Consent should be continuous, and it's crucial to prioritize the emotional well-being and comfort of all individuals involved in any intimate encounters. He was reluctant to sleep with me, but he was gentle. However, now it's different. He seems to possess me or torture me, she cried out. There was no passion, no throbbing desire, only endless torment. I shouldn't have thrown myself at him. I knew he doesn't like me, maybe even hates me. I shouldn't have come here when he was clearly upset. Those first 2 times felt okay because he was either drunk or had a fever. But she still remembered his words. That time, Ginny had said, "You want to play with me? Well, I will keep you company." Anna, not in her senses, couldn't help but think about Ginny, realizing he wouldn't be tender when he was sober. Ginny left Anna in the washroom, leaving her in a state of confusion and distress. Anna called Mandy in a worried voice, and Mandy picked up the call, asking Anna where she was. Anna quickly requested that Mandy bring her address to room 1001. Mandy arrived at room 1001 and confronted Ginny about the incident, suspecting that he had assaulted Anna. Anna reassured Mandy, saying she was fine, but she decided to leave the situation behind and head back. She realized that she might have caught a cold due to getting wet the previous night and decided to check her body temperature. Mandy asked, "Shall I call the director and postpone your part? Your illness might affect your shooting." Anna responded, "No, they already doubt that I didn't get the role fairly. If I postpone my first scene, they will certainly complain." Anna, not feeling well and determined not to jeopardize her job, decided to go for the shoot. As she arrived on set, feeling weak, she sat in a chair beside her friend Mandy. Suddenly, Ginny appeared, his expression serious as he observed both of them. Anna, feeling unwell, rejected Mandy's suggestion to ask for leave. Mandy expressed her concern, suggesting they inform the director and consult a doctor. However, Anna insisted that she was fine. Just then, a crew member arrived to provide an update and gathered all the crew members. The entire crew had gathered, and Mandy remarked that everyone was there to see if Anna had the strength to perform the role. Ginny approached the director as soon as he arrived. A crew member then informed Anna that her scene was cancelled for the day because Mr. Liu had something urgent to attend to. Anna was taken aback and asked when she could start shooting again. The crew member nervously replied that it would likely be in 4 or 5 days. Anna was worried that the director might fire her due to the cancellation. Fortunately, Mandy reassured her, saying that the crew should have informed them earlier, as they had been waiting for a long time. Anna was feeling worried and unwell. When she returned home, she went to sleep and had a long dream that night. In her dream, she revisited the purest moments of her childhood before the age of 10, spent in her cousin's home after her parents passed away. She dreamed of her high school and college years, recalling the boys she had met in the rain and the memories associated with that time. The next morning, Anna went downstairs and near the stairs, she asked Chen, the house helper, why she had come. Chen replied that Mr. Liu had asked her to keep an eye on the house because they were all going to shoot. "Breakfast is ready, my lady." Anna wasn't feeling well, and she wondered why he had suddenly asked Chen to be here. "I really don't know his thoughts," she thought. Meanwhile, Ginny went to the shooting location and then returned from the office. "Hi Mrs. Chen, how is Anna feeling now?" Ginny inquired. Chen replied, "Yes, she might be feeling better now. I'll prepare some soup for her." Ginny then went into Anna's room and handed her a contract labeled New York Sophia Authorization. He said, "Anna, please sign here." Anna checked the agreement and was shocked. It was for a top luxury brand, and their spokespersons were always A-list stars. She wondered why Ginny had helped her get this opportunity. Ginny asked, "Aren't you interested in endorsing cosmetics? You deserve it. It's the payment for that night." Anna was shocked and overwhelmed with sadness, but she didn't say anything. She signed the agreement, thinking of it as an excuse to endure the endless humiliation. She couldn't help but wonder if Ginny saw her as a shameless woman, regretting that things had gone this far. In the midst of her thoughts, Ginny asked, "Why? Are you dissatisfied?" Anna tried to express her feelings, her heart aching. She finally said, "Ginny Lou, I have loved you for 13 years, but I've had to try my best to disguise it. The greatest hopelessness is not that you don't know I love you when I stay with you, but that I have to disguise my love in front of you," Anna confessed with a heavy heart. On the shooting set, the director called for attention. "Please, everyone, get ready to shoot." Mandy couldn't contain her excitement as she watched Anna. She cheered her on, saying, "Anna, you can finally shoot your part. You have recovered in good condition." Anna was overjoyed because today was her first shoot with Ginny. The scene they were shooting involved the female co-star falling in love with the male co-star and scheming to separate him from the female lead. In today's scene, the male co-star was supposed to be drunk because his girlfriend was going abroad, and the female co-star had to come and comfort him. Ginny's acting prowess shone through, and even the director was surprised. He couldn't help but comment, "Lou is indeed a great actor. No matter how reserved and aloof he appears in real life, he really knows how to deliver in front of the camera." Ginny effortlessly slipped into his role, immersing himself completely. The director praised him, saying, "He gets into the role easily. His performance is vivid with just one action." The main lead also complimented Anna, saying, "Miss Jo, I'm sure you will do just as well as Mr. Lou, given his great acting skills." Anna, too, showcased her acting prowess. She rushed to Ginny and exclaimed, "Stop it, Ginny. I love you so much, but I haven't dared to show even a hint of it. Now, we're acting, so I can. Why don't you love me?" She delved deep into her role, pouring her emotions into the performance. As the scene continued, Ginny remained silent, and Anna poured her heart into the performance. The crew members were surprised by their compelling acting. One crew member called out, "Director? Director? Should we cut?" The director called a cut to the scene, and Anna and Ginny were brought back to reality. Anna quickly apologized, saying it was just a part of the scene, and she should have communicated with him better. Ginny, feeling a mix of emotions, couldn't help but feel foolish for getting carried away. The director praised Anna for her performance, acknowledging the difficulty of acting opposite someone as accomplished as Mr. Lou. "Ginny. Many others might have failed in the same situation. It seems like you're describing a scene or a story where Anna, a crew member, impressively passed a test or acted convincingly as a rookie, leading others to praise her skills and confirm that she earned her role through her abilities." However, the main lead character overhears this conversation and becomes angry or upset about it. It appears that tensions are running high between the main lead character and Anna, with the main lead expressing anger and determination not to give up on their endeavors. Mandy warns Anna about a potential dispute with Mr. Lou and advises her to be cautious when dealing with him, perhaps hinting at some potential conflict or rivalry within the story. The mention of high heels might imply a metaphorical or literal stumbling block for Anna. This situation could add suspense and drama to the storyline. The director calls for action, and within this scene, there's a confrontation between Anna and Ginny. Ginny becomes very angry and declares that she doesn't want to see Anna again. In the midst of this tension, something goes wrong as Anna's heels break, and she falls into a swimming pool. It becomes clear that Anna can't swim, and Ginny, despite their recent argument, jumps into the pool to save her. This scene is filled with suspense and could lead to further development of the characters' relationships and the overall plot of your story. Subscribe this channel. Anna had lost consciousness, and Ginny's heart raced with worry. He quickly lifted her out of the swimming pool, her limp body heavy in his arms. Water droplets glistened on her skin in the dim evening light. Panic welled up inside him, but he knew he had to act fast. "Anna, come on, wake up," Ginny implored, shaking her gently. "Hey, hello. Please, wake up." But there was no response. Anna remained unresponsive, and Ginny's desperation grew. He remembered the CPR training he had received years ago, and with trembling hands, he began chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. With each compression, he hoped to bring her back to life. Amid the tense atmosphere and the distant sound of splashing water, a voice suddenly broke the silence, causing Ginny to pause. It was a voice he recognized, a voice that had whispered the words, "I did that just because I like you." Ginny's head snapped around, searching for the source of the voice. In the dimly lit area, he spotted a figure standing nearby. It was Anna, a fellow poolgoer who had been watching the events unfold. Ginny's concern for Anna was, "What did you say?" Ginny demanded, his voice tinged with frustration. "I said, I did that because I like you. I couldn't stand the thought of you losing her." Ginny's heart skipped a beat as he processed the unexpected confession. As the paramedics arrived and took over, assessing Anna's condition, Ginny couldn't help but wonder about the unexpected turn of events. In the midst of this chaotic evening, emotions were running high, and Ginny was left with a whirlwind of thoughts and feelings, all starting with that one unexpected declaration of affection. The night that had begun with fear and uncertainty had now taken an unexpected turn, and Ginny found himself at the center of a heart-pounding drama that he could have never foreseen. Anna's sudden awakening and her plea for forgiveness left Ginny stunned. He had been genuinely worried about her well-being, and now he was confronted with the possibility that it had all been a ruse. His initial concern had turned into anger and confusion. Ginny glared at Anna, struggling to find the words. "Were you acting just now? It was not an accident? You made all of this for acting? You can't swim at all?" The entire crew, who had been silently watching this drama unfold, was equally perplexed by Anna's revelation. The director, however, was insistent on continuing the recording. "Don't stop. Keep on. Keep on. It's recorded," the director commanded. Anna's admission had turned the entire situation into a complex and bewildering scenario. The question remained, was this part of a carefully orchestrated act, or had Anna truly been in danger and decided to use the moment for an unexpected confession? As the scene continued to play out, the tension in the air was palpable, and Ginny's feelings of shock, anger, and confusion were mirrored by the audience and the crew. This unexpected turn of events had taken the story in a direction no one had anticipated. As the conversation between Ginny and Anna unfolded, with Ginny still grappling with his emotions and questions, the director decided to intervene. "Cut. Good. Very good, Anna. The plot you designed is great," the director exclaimed, applauding Anna's performance. Mandy, one of Anna's fellow cast members, approached her with a mixture of relief and concern in her voice. "Anna, you scared the hell out of me. Don't take risks with your life," she warned. The revelation that Anna's near accident had been part of a well-orchestrated plot for the film left everyone astonished. The line between reality and fiction had blurred, but it seemed that Anna's dedication to her role had made a lasting impression on both her fellow actors and the director. The film had certainly taken an unexpected turn, not just in the storyline but also in the emotions and reactions of those involved. Anna, still recovering from the intense scene, quickly clarified, "It's just a shooting. I didn't plan the fall, my heel is broken, so I lost my balance and fell." Mandy, trying to make sense of it all, questioned, "How can it break? Does it mean someone did it? By the way, you might not have noticed that." The realization that Anna's heel had broken by chance, rather than by design, added another layer of complexity to the situation. The unexpected accident had naturally sparked suspicions among the crew, but it seemed that it was indeed an unforeseen mishap, leaving everyone to reassess their assumptions about what had occurred during the shoot. Mandy's observation was astute. It appeared that Ginny's reaction had been genuine, just like everyone else's on the set. When Anna had fallen, it had caught everyone by surprise, leaving no room for doubt about the authenticity of the incident. The shock and concern that had rippled through the crew and cast confirmed that Ginny's reaction had not been divergent from the others. Anna's shock deepened as Ginny's response became clear. Ginny, feeling frustrated and betrayed, addressed Miss Jo, presumably the director or screenwriter, saying, "Miss Jo, you should communicate with me better before improvising plots next time." It seemed that the unexpected twists in the script had led to real emotions among the cast and crew, underscoring the importance of clear communication in the collaborative process of filmmaking. Miss Jo's point was clear, emphasizing the seriousness of the situation. "It's not like playing games, and not everyone can understand your intentions each time. Even if you want to give a convincing performance, risking your life on a film set is not acceptable. A scandal involving a rising actor is a disaster for the global entertainment industry." Miss Jo's words served as a stern reminder of the responsibility and impact that actors and filmmakers carry in the world of entertainment. Safety and professionalism must always be prioritized on set to avoid any potential scandals or negative consequences for the industry. Mandy's anger was palpable as she confronted Mr. Liu, stating, her high heel was broken by someone. She improvised to save the shot scene. Anna remained silent, and Ginny began to worry. The tension on the set seemed to be escalating, and Mandy's accusation raised questions about the integrity of the production. Anna's departure without saying a word added to the uncertainty and unease that now hung over the set. The unfolding events had left the cast and crew in a state of disarray, and it was clear that there were still many unanswered questions about what had transpired during the shoot. Mandy arrogant man. But Ginny go and check what happened with Anna. He ordered his assistant go and get me the video of the shooting site. Yes Mr. Liu, his assistant received call from ITV? They offer some work. Assistant say sorry Mr. Liu is not interested in such activities. Yes, Miss Lin wish you have a good time. Ginny say, tell her I will be right there. The assistant's shock at Ginny's reaction was evident, and he was on the verge of tears. Ginny, still with a sense of frustration, agreed with the assistant and sat down in an angry mode. As Ginny reached the club, he encountered Shelley, who seemed to be in a flirty mood. She playfully said, come on, Mr. Liu, sing a song with us. Ginny, clearly not in the mood for Shelley's advances, retorted with a sharp comment, you'd be better off seducing men in a nightclub. His words were laced with frustration and irritation, and it seemed that the events of the day had taken their toll on his patience. Ginny's sharp comment left everyone on the set in shock. He then addressed the group, expressing his concerns, please, let's maintain a decent atmosphere on the set. A director's ill-minded street women will have a bad effect on our play. His words emphasized the importance of professionalism and a respectful working environment. His comment resonated with the others, and the awkwardness in the air was palpable. As the situation grew tense, Ginny decided to leave the set. Meanwhile, are you going to ITV? He asked if you are interested in his new play later this year. This offer presented an interesting opportunity for Anna, adding yet another layer of complexity to the unfolding story. Anna replied with a simple no to producer Sun's inquiry. Mandy, who seemed puzzled, pointed out, isn't that Shelley? Anna, looking concerned, asked, what is the matter? Mandy then explained, I saw her assistant come out of the locker room when you went to change your shoes. Anna admitted, I thought it was her. Mandy seemed to connect the dots and said, she did this on the first day of shooting. Anna, don't worry. It appeared that Shelley or her assistant had been involved in some incidents or behavior that raised suspicions among the crew. The situation was becoming increasingly complex, and the cast and crew were left to grapple with unexpected twists in the story, both on and off the set. Anna expressed her determination, saying, I won't let her get away with it. I did not come here for anything, but Ginny. But it doesn't mean I can be bullied. Liu is too disrespectful. As Anna's strong feelings became apparent, some crew members began gossiping about the situation. One crew member commented, he is so arrogant, and called her a street woman in front of so many people. A second person chimed in, observing, he is a little strange today. The unfolding drama on the set had clearly left an impact on the cast and crew, and the tension in the air was growing palpable. Ginny's unusual behavior had caught the attention of those around him. He had never attended such events before and was behaving coldly, ignoring people who tried to engage with him. The question on everyone's mind was, why was he in such a bad mood? Meanwhile, Anna approached Shelley and asked, did you break my heels? It was a direct and pointed question, seeking to clarify the situation and understand if Shelley had any involvement in the mishap that had taken place earlier. Shelley admitted to her involvement, saying, yes. Anna responded with surprising frankness, you are frank. Anna then commented on Shelley's acting skills, acknowledging her talent with a touch of sarcasm, your acting is really amazing, huh? Shelley questioned, so, you want to get revenge? Anna, showing her own maturity and restraint, replied, no, I won't get back at you. If it weren't for you. It seemed that Anna was taking the high road and choosing not to seek retaliation for Shelley's actions. Anna's response was unexpectedly gracious. She acknowledged that without Shelley's actions, it would have been difficult to convince others of her abilities. She mentioned, I wouldn't be able to convince them of my ability. If it weren't for you, the director wouldn't think I was improvising. With a touch of sincerity, Anna concluded, so I want to thank you, for making me special. It appeared that Anna recognized the unusual turn of events as an opportunity for growth and recognition, even if it had come about through unconventional means. Shelley's response was filled with anger and bitterness. She accused Anna, saying, you managed to earn such a role by sleeping with men. So you deserve it. Anna's expression turned to sadness, clearly hurt by the accusation. Meanwhile, Ginny and his assistant were elsewhere. The assistant offered Ginny some ginger tea, perhaps in an attempt to help him relax or ease his mood. Mr. Liu, Ginny, appreciated the offer of ginger tea and replied, it's good for me. Send one to room 5231. His assistant asked, any more? To which Ginny responded, tell her it's arranged by the team, for Miss Jo. Okay, sir. However, Ginny's assistant suddenly remembered something important and added, but she must be out of the room. It seemed there was a logistical concern about delivering the tea to Miss Jo's room, and her absence from the room was a key factor to consider. I heard Mr. Sun was talking to her about her new role. Ginny shocked, his face getting pale. He immediately sent Mrs. Anna sit front of Sun. Mr. Sun offer her some work, but Anna denied. In middle of conversation she received message from Ginny, come up with your script. Anna's mind was racing with nervousness and questions as she wondered why Ginny had suddenly reached out to her. She couldn't help but ponder the significance of his message and its timing, especially since it was the first time he had approached her since they got married. She questioned whether he would continue to do so in the future. With these thoughts in her mind, Anna rang the doorbell to Ginny's room, eager to find out the reason behind his unexpected message and to address her concerns directly. She reached Ginny's office and say, Mr. Liu, what can I help you with my script? Ginny, I need to copy yours. Mine is gone. Anna complied with Ginny's request and said, I will put it here, see you. Ginny then asked her to wait, and Anna stood near the sofa, appearing like a statue, as she waited for his instructions. Ginny, seemingly appreciative of her assistance, handed her a cup of tea and said, thank you. Anna wasted no time and immediately drank the entire cup of tea, perhaps eager to quell her nervousness or as a sign of gratitude for his gesture. Ginny kindly asked, want more, when he noticed Anna had finished her tea. Anna, perhaps feeling a bit overwhelmed, replied quickly, no, and then sat down, appearing somewhat stiff or robotic in her actions. As Ginny left to check his documents, Anna could finally relax. It was clear that there was a mutual affection between Ginny and Anna, but both seemed unaware of each other's feelings, leaving their connection unspoken and undiscovered. Ginny couldn't help but feel that Anna was avoiding him and seemed resistant to spending time with him. He questioned silently, do you hate being with me so much? As he pondered this, he suddenly remembered James, Anna's former fiancé, and her mother's voice. It struck him that Anna had feelings for James and they had been engaged, making him realize that he might be indulging in a futile daydream. Ginny's introspection raised questions about the complexities of their relationship and Anna's emotions, leaving him with a sense of unease and uncertainty. As Ginny approached Anna, who was already asleep, he couldn't help but be struck by a memory. He recalled James's mother's voice, echoing in his mind, how can you love her as an illegitimate child without anything? This memory made him reflect on the complexities of his feelings for Anna. The weight of societal expectations and judgments seemed to be influencing his thoughts, leaving him with a profound sense of uncertainty about their relationship and the obstacles they might face. Ginny's thoughts were clearly in turmoil as he considered whether he was acting as the third person in James and Anna's relationship. Filled with uncertainty, he left Anna alone on the sofa. As he left, Anna suddenly woke up, and it seemed she was now processing her own thoughts and emotions. She wondered, did Ginny put it on me? The situation left her feeling perplexed and perhaps somewhat vulnerable. Anna then collected her blanket and decided to seek out Ginny, possibly to clarify their feelings and the situation that had unfolded. The dynamics between the three of them were growing increasingly complex and were clearly causing emotional tension and confusion. Anna, feeling nervous, attentively listening to the sound of her footsteps. She tried to speak, Mr. Liu, but it seemed her nerves were making it difficult for her to continue. Anna proceeded to knock on the door, but it appeared that Ginny had not responded or answered her initially. The tension in the room was palpable as they faced an uncertain and possibly awkward situation. Anna decided to enter the room despite not receiving a response from Ginny. Inside, she noticed a strong smell of smoke in the window. Concerned for his well-being, she took the initiative to ensure he wouldn't catch a cold due to the open window. Anna's actions suggested her care and consideration for Ginny's health, despite the underlying tension in the room. Their unspoken feelings and the complex situation between them added layers of emotion to the scene. Ginny, after a moment of silence, broke the ice with a simple, okay, and then he returned Anna's script. He expressed gratitude, saying, thank you. Anna, visibly taken aback by this seemingly ordinary conversation, realized that this was the first time she had engaged in a normal conversation in nearly 6 years. She responded with a slightly surprised but polite, "You are welcome." The exchange marked a significant moment in their interactions, showing a potential shift in their relationship and communication. The unspoken emotions between them remained, but this simple conversation was a step towards breaking the barriers that had existed for so long. Ginny, after their initial conversation, had one more important thing to share with Anna. He broke the silence, saying, "Wait, Anna, one more thing." Anna remained silent, waiting for him to continue. Ginny then revealed, "We invested in a new costume drama, and you're going to be the female lead." This unexpected news left Anna with a sense of surprise and perhaps a mix of emotions. It was a significant opportunity for her, and it seemed that their relationship was taking a new turn as they ventured into a new project together. As Anna processed the news of her upcoming role as the female lead in a new costume drama, she couldn't help but feel a sense of shock. Her mind raced as she reflected on the events of the past few days, where she had faced insults and blame from others who accused her of gaining work with Mr. Liu through her body. This new opportunity was not only a professional milestone but also a chance for her to prove her talent and worth, despite the harsh judgments and rumors that had surrounded her. Anna's mind was filled with questions and uncertainty. She couldn't help but wonder if Ginny had taken the last 3 times as a form of trade. With his help in securing her the female lead role, she couldn't help but ponder if this meant there was a 4th trade in their unspoken arrangement. The thought left her contemplating whether more trades were in store for their relationship and if there would ever be an end to this unspoken dynamic between them. The future seemed uncertain, and Anna was left with a mix of emotions and concerns. Anna's refusal to accept Ginny's offer left him puzzled and inquisitive. He asked, "Why?" Anna replied firmly, "I don't want to trade with you anymore." Ginny, taken aback by her response, sought clarification. "Trade? Or sleeping with me? You offered to trade with me." Anna's decision to refuse the offer was a clear expression of her discomfort with the implied transactional nature of their relationship. She wanted to break free from any perception of trading her body for opportunities and maintain her self-respect and integrity. Ginny's anger and frustration boiled over, and he shouted at Anna, "Now you want to refuse it? You changed your mind when Sun talked to you about the new play? Do you take me for nothing? Tell me, what do you take me for? A tool or your stepping stone? Now you're kicking me out as you get famous?" His outburst was fueled by a mix of emotions, including anger, hurt, and a sense of betrayal. Unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, he resorted to verbal abuse directed at Anna, which only added to the complexity of their relationship and the pain they both seemed to be experiencing. Ginny's emotions seemed to take a drastic turn as he kissed Anna's lips. After a few moments, he released her and issued a threatening statement, "Don't think you are capable of resisting me after acting in 2 plays. Since I can make you succeed, I can also make you disappear from this circle." His words were laced with a mix of power and control, and they left Anna in a difficult and vulnerable position. The dynamics between them had taken a dark and troubling turn, as Ginny sought to exert his influence and dominance over Anna. Anna found herself in a challenging situation, unable to respond as Ginny insisted that she must play the female lead in the next play. She felt overwhelmed but decided to remain silent, thinking that she didn't want to burden or bother anyone else. She had a strong desire to rely on herself and make her own way in the world, despite the complex relationships and circumstances she found herself in. Amidst all the turmoil and uncertainty, Ginny's mind echoed with the voice of James's mother, who seemed to be cautioning him. She had said, "Stop your wishful thinking. Even if her parents died, she's still the daughter of the Zhou family. She comes from a noble family, and James is the successor of the Su family." This reminder of Anna's family background and her connection to James added another layer of complexity to their situation. The societal expectations and differences in their family backgrounds further complicated the unspoken and strained relationship between Ginny and Anna. Ginny's anger continued to escalate as he grappled with the idea that Anna and James were seen as a perfect match. He was frustrated, feeling like he was never truly understood. In his anger, he accused Anna of deliberately trying to avoid making any connections with him, adding to the emotional tension between them. The complexities of their unspoken relationship and the expectations placed upon them were causing a great deal of frustration and hurt. Ginny's frustration and anger were evident as he confronted Anna. He accused her of actively trying to stay away from him, even when they were alone, and of avoiding making any eye contact. He believed she was focused on self-reliance and was determined to distance herself from him because she saw no use for him. Their relationship had deteriorated significantly, with misunderstandings and miscommunications causing a deep divide between them. The emotional tension and unspoken feelings were causing a great deal of pain and conflict. Ginny's anger and frustration continued to pour out, as he made it clear to Anna that he held the ultimate authority in their unspoken trade. He warned her, "I have the final say in our trade, not you." He also implied that Anna shouldn't worry about the consequences of him growing tired of her. The power dynamics in their relationship were skewed, and Ginny's words conveyed a sense of control and dominance, leaving Anna in a vulnerable position. Their emotional conflict and unspoken feelings were causing significant turmoil in their relationship. After some time, Ginny released Anna. She made her way home, where her friends were waiting for her. They noticed something was different and asked her what had happened. With tears in her eyes and a different smile, Anna shared the news with them, saying, "You know what? I will be the female lead in the next costume drama for Global Entertainment." Despite the emotional turmoil she had just experienced, Anna's announcement about her new role marked a significant turning point in her career, and she appeared determined to focus on her professional success and opportunities, regardless of the challenges she faced in her personal life. Mandy was clearly shocked by Anna's revelation. She attempted to convince Anna, expressing her concern and empathy. She asked Anna why she had to go through such suffering and hardship, highlighting that her uncle and aunt would be deeply grieved by her choices. Mandy's concern for Anna's well-being and her familial relationships was evident, and she seemed to be trying to persuade Anna to reconsider her path, given the challenges she had faced. Anna explained her reasons for entering the entertainment industry, revealing that she did it for someone she loved. However, she expressed her deep pain and frustration, feeling like she was being treated as a plaything by that person. She feared that this individual might grow tired of her at any moment. Tears filled Anna's eyes as she continued, admitting that she had loved this person for 13 years. She confided in Mandy, saying she was unsure if she could continue to carry the weight of such a love. The emotional turmoil was overwhelming, and she eventually cried herself to sleep, burdened by the complexities of her feelings and the challenges she faced. The next day, on the shooting set, a crew member suggested, "Today is Ruth's birthday. Let's go to her birthday party tonight." It seemed like the crew members were planning to celebrate Ruth's birthday together, bringing some joy and camaraderie to the set. As the crew members celebrated Ruth's birthday and extended their warm wishes, Anna stood on the sidelines, contemplating whether Ginny would be present at the party. Her thoughts seemed to revolve around his potential attendance. When asked if she would be attending the party, Anna declined, explaining that she had work to do. Despite the festive atmosphere, it appeared that Anna had her reasons for not joining the celebration and chose to focus on her commitments instead. Ruth suggested that Anna could leave the party earlier if she wanted. As Anna contemplated this, she noticed Mr. Liu standing nearby. He pointed out to Ruth that she shouldn't force Anna, which left Anna quite surprised by his behavior. In response to this unexpected exchange, Anna quickly decided to leave the party, feeling a mix of emotions and likely not wanting to be in the middle of any potential conflicts or awkward situations. Ruth approached Mr. Liu and expressed her observations, saying, "Mr. Liu, you seem to be emotional for someone recently." "It's Anna." She went on to mention the incident where Anna fell into the water, and Mr. Liu had immediately jumped down to save her. Ruth's words indicated her keen perception of the relationship dynamics and the emotions at play between Mr. Liu and Anna. It seemed that she was inquiring about the nature of their connection and how it might be affecting Mr. Liu. Ruth continued her conversation with Mr. Liu, expressing her surprise and admiration for his caring and protective behavior, something she had not seen in him before. She noted that he often appeared calm and composed when sitting in his seat during shooting, but his recent actions suggested a different side of him that she found quite touching. Ruth continued to question Mr. Liu, noting that he kept glancing to his right during the shooting. She suggested that it was because Anna was sitting there. Mr. Liu responded by calling her a gossip, to which Ruth playfully retorted that gossip was a natural tendency of women, asking if he was upset by her conclusion. Their conversation seemed to revolve around the observations and dynamics between Mr. Liu and Anna, hinting at the growing interest and emotions at play between them. Ruth continued the conversation, mentioning that Anna never looked at Mr. Liu when she was talking to her. In response, Mr. Liu playfully shut the door, seemingly accepting the teasing and jesting. Their playful banter hinted at the possibility of jealousy and romantic interest, although it was delivered in a light-hearted manner. However, the discussion was interrupted by the director, who called for the shooting to begin again, and Mr. Liu was prompted to improve his expression for the scene. The shooting seemed to encounter difficulties as Mr. Liu struggled to get the right shot, prompting the director's frustration. The director eventually called for a break, as the scene wasn't going as expected, and Mr. Liu was asked to make some adjustments. This unexpected struggle raised questions among the crew members, who wondered why Ginny, who was known for his proficiency, was having an off day. It was a moment of concern and intrigue on the set. Jinny made a decision to take the kissing scene seriously, and he requested some makeup to ensure that he looked his best for the scene. It seemed that he was determined to give his best performance in the upcoming shot, despite the challenges they had faced earlier. Jinny's request for a real kiss surprised all the other crew members, as it was well known that Mr. Liu had never really kissed in a shooting before. This unexpected turn of events. It became evident that Mr. Liu was willing to break the contract and pay a significant amount of damages for the sake of this real kiss in the scene. The unexpected turn of events seemed to surprise and even shock the crew. The director approached Anna and informed her, "Mr. Liu wants to make it real." This signaled that they were proceeding with the decision for a genuine kiss in the scene, creating a significant departure from their usual approach and contractual agreements. Jinny appeared to be quite determined to make this real kiss a sensation, and he encouraged Anna to remain professional and take it easy, assuring her that it was just a kiss. Ruth, who observed the situation, approached Jinny and expressed her amazement, saying, "I've never seen a man come on to someone with such a determined look." The atmosphere was charged with a mix of intrigue, anticipation, and perhaps some tension as they prepared for the scene. As the shooting began, Jinny seemed to be driven by a sense of determination and perhaps some personal stakes in the scene, as if he had a significant loss at hand. He expressed that it was good for Anna. During the scene, Jinny instructed Anna to make sure to look back at him when he gazed at her, in accordance with the script. They prepared to start the scene, with all eyes on them as they began to act out their roles, maintaining a meaningful gaze that added depth to their performance. Thank you for watching. Please share if you like. As Jinny looked into Anna's eyes, a rush of thoughts ran through her mind. She recalled the numerous times they had rehearsed kissing scenes, but this time, it felt different. She questioned whether this was just another act, and if there was more to it. In a surprising turn of events, Jinny leaned in and kissed Anna. The entire crew, who had been watching their performance, was left in shock by this unexpected and passionate kiss. The on-screen kiss had turned into a real and intense moment, leaving everyone taken aback. Anna, still processing the unexpected kiss, admitted, "But it's quite different now. I was numb for a second, as if hit by an electric current." She was taken aback by the intensity of the moment. Jinny responded by saying, "Anna, only by acting dare I express all my love." It seemed like this kiss had a profound impact on both of them, blurring the lines between their on-screen performance and their real emotions. Jinny continued to express his feelings, explaining that in the role, he loved Anna with all his heart. He emphasized that only with her would he be fine. It appeared that their on-screen kiss had ignited deep emotions and a sense of connection between them, even if it was part of their performance. During the scene, a crew member questioned if Jinny's lines were improvised, but the director approved and encouraged him to continue. Jinny continued with his lines, expressing his desire for Anna to never leave him and asking if she would. However, their performance was interrupted by someone calling for Anna. The director praised their performance, commending them for their excellent work. The crew members were also deeply moved by Jinny's acting. Anna, still in a state of shock, was approached by her friend Mandy, who reminded her that it was time for cleansing, possibly referring to the end of the shooting day or scene. Anna responded with an "oh okay," but her thoughts remained preoccupied with Jinny. She reflected on the intensity of the moment, feeling like she had almost become entrapped in his love, but now she realized it had been nothing more than a sweet dream. The emotional impact of the scene had left a lasting impression on her. Anna recognized that the tenderness and affection displayed by Jinny were primarily for the sake of their acting, not for her personally. As everyone left the studio, Anna was prepared to leave as well, but it was raining outside. She decided to wait until the rain stopped. Unexpectedly, Jinny pulled up near her in a car and invited her to get in. It seemed that he wanted to provide her with a ride, despite the rain, creating a moment of intrigue and perhaps furthering the complex dynamics between them. As they sat in the car on a rainy day, both Anna and Jinny remained silent. Eventually, Anna broke the silence by asking if Jinny was not planning to attend Ruth's birthday party. Jinny stayed silent for a moment before responding, "I am for something." Anna acknowledged his response with a simple "I see." Their conversation was brief, and there appeared to be a sense of tension or unspoken feelings between them as they navigated the complexities of their evolving relationship. Anna expressed her intention to take the subway home, offering Jinny the option to leave if he was occupied with business. She understood that Jinny had something on his mind, and she was ready to give him space. Jinny seemed to cherish any interaction with Anna, even if it was just a few words exchanged, as it brought him happiness, if only for a fleeting moment. Their relationship appeared to be filled with unspoken emotions and complexities. Ginny was aware of Anna's initial entry into the entertainment circle, which was motivated by a desire for enjoyment rather than professional ambition. He also knew that she hadn't played any significant roles in the 6 months since her debut. Therefore, he couldn't understand why she would consider trading her virginity for a lead role, as it seemed unnecessary and excessive to him. This knowledge added complexity to their relationship and raised questions about her motivations and decisions. Ginny believed that Anna hadn't willingly made the decision to trade her virginity for a lead role. Instead, she had seduced him first. This perspective created a different dynamic in their relationship and raised questions about who initiated their romantic involvement. As Ginny reflected on these thoughts, he pondered the beauty of music and its ability to convey emotions. He recognized that the most beautiful thing might not be the rainy day, alluding to the complexity and depth of human emotions and experiences. Anna hinted at a secret that couldn't be shared, and Ginny inquired about it. Anna replied by referring to an old song, indicating that the secret might be connected to a personal experience or memory. Their conversation then shifted to the topic of rainy days. Anna asked Ginny if he liked rainy days, to which he responded affirmatively. The mutual appreciation for rainy days provided a connection between them, as they shared a similar preference for this type of weather. Ginny explained that he used to dislike rainy days, but his perspective changed over time. Anna asked him what had caused this change in his attitude toward rainy days, expressing curiosity about his reasons for liking them now. This exchange allowed them to share more about themselves and their evolving preferences. As they arrived at Anna's house, Ginny stopped talking abruptly. He seemed to have second thoughts or hesitations about the conversation. Anna remained silent for a few moments and then responded with a simple okay. Sensing that the moment may have become awkward, Ginny suggested that Anna should get out of the car first. Their interactions were marked by unspoken emotions and complexities, making their relationship intriguing and enigmatic. Anna inquired if Ginny would come home that night, to which he responded with a question of his own, asking if she hoped he would. However, Ginny explained that he had already done enough to her that day and didn't feel the need to do anything more that night. His words hinted at a complicated and emotionally charged relationship between them. Ginny questioned how Anna could expect him to come back, suggesting that their relationship was strained or complicated. As they looked at each other, Anna was on the verge of tears. Ginny attempted to stop her from crying but then abruptly left her in that emotional state, leaving the situation unresolved and leaving Anna feeling distressed and emotional. Anna returned home, and her landlady offered her dinner, but she declined, saying that she was tired and just wanted to rest. She was feeling unwell and quite upset after the emotional encounter with Ginny. The impact of their complex relationship weighed heavily on her. Anna's house phone rang, and it was Ginny calling. The landlady answered the call and informed him that Anna had gone upstairs to rest. In response, Ginny asked the landlady to prepare some ginger soup for Anna, showing his concern for her well-being. Ginny instructed the house lady to turn up the air conditioning to prevent Anna from catching a cold and asked her not to tell Anna about his concerns. The house lady found this behavior strange and speculated that Ginny was covering up his true feelings. She also noted that Ginny appeared upset and unable to express his emotions. Their complex relationship and unspoken emotions continued to be a central theme in their interactions. The next day, Anna was very happy because she had the chance to meet her sister, who had been away for a long time. Her sister greeted her with a warm, "Hi, Anna. When did you come back?" Their reunion brought joy and happiness to Anna's day. Anna's sister was excited and eager to introduce Anna to her new potential boyfriend. Anna playfully teased her sister about her frequent changes of boyfriends, asking about the group or successors she was dating this time. They then headed to a restaurant for dinner, where the introduction would take place. Anna was surprised to find Ginny waiting for her at the hotel. Her sister greeted Ginny, and Ginny was asked to place the order for dinner. Ginny agreed and was given the freedom to choose whatever he liked from the menu. The presence of Ginny in the same restaurant added another layer of complexity to Anna's evening. Anna's sister appeared to be happy about the familiar surroundings of the restaurant, and Ginny mentioned that he had been there once with her and James. This shared connection with James and Anna's sister added to the complexity of the situation, as it hinted at past connections and relationships. Anna's sister suddenly remembered something and inquired about her relationship with James. Anna responded positively and thought to herself with a smile that her sister didn't know that the man she had actually married was sitting next to her. Anna's sister then asked if Ginny was the man who might be her boyfriend, and Anna replied with a simple, "It's complicated," alluding to the complexity of her relationship with Ginny. Anna's sister shared her experience with Ginny, mentioning that when she was in middle school, many girls liked him, and she also had feelings for him but was rejected by him. This added an interesting dynamic to their interactions, as Anna's sister had previously been interested in Ginny. Anna's sister had been dreaming about Ginny's affection towards her, as they had been talking regularly over the past few years. In her dream, she believed that Ginny loved her, but Ginny denied his love for her, which made Anna's sister angry. She questioned why Ginny didn't love her if he liked her sister, adding further complexity to their relationships and feelings. Anna's sister expressed her frustration and anger towards Ginny, telling him that he had been alone for over a decade and hadn't won the love of the woman he liked. She urged him to give up, but Ginny responded that he would never stop loving Anna, and even if he could, he would never like Anna's sister. This exchange revealed the depth of Ginny's feelings for Anna and the complexity of their relationships. Anna's sister, feeling frustrated and curious, asked Ginny about the kind of woman who could make him so desperate and devoted for over a decade. Ginny, however, refused to share this information with her, saying that she didn't deserve to know. He then left her behind, leaving the question unanswered and adding an air of mystery to his feelings for Anna. Ginny approached Anna with anger and questioned why she had nothing to ask. Anna, puzzled, asked him what he meant. Ginny revealed that Anna's sister had asked him out for dinner, and he wanted to know why Anna didn't seem to care. Anna stammered in response, mentioning that her sister was beautiful and seemingly perfect, indicating that she was aware of her sister's charm and was perhaps feeling insecure about it. Ginny became agitated and exclaimed, "You are my woman, and you praised your sister in front of me? Do you want to share your husband with your sister? You are disgusting. Now that I will sleep with you, I won't touch her. It's not necessary for you to praise her." He seemed possessive and jealous, expressing his desire for Anna and his frustration with her sister's praise. Ginny's proposition left Anna shocked and uncertain about how to respond. She was caught off guard by his straightforward and unfiltered request. Anna was taken aback by Ginny's bold and explicit proposal. The situation had taken an unexpected and uncomfortable turn, leaving her unsure of how to react. And cry because she don't do anything. Meanwhile she go in Ginny room after both having some private activities. Ginny say, "Text me if you want any commercial performance. If you don't, I will arrange one for you," Anna thought, still in a daze. She got ready and left Ginny's room. She wanted to get away from all of this, but she had promised Ray. When she left Ginny's room, she suddenly saw someone. Meanwhile, someone had posted all these details on a news portal. The next day on the shooting set, everyone was talking about the news. Some crew members were saying things like, "I told you. She didn't get the lead role on merit alone. Producer's son must have favored her, maybe she slept with everyone who helped her." Others couldn't believe the first gossipers' claims. Anna listened to the conversations and sighed. Mandy suggested trying to delete the tweets, but Anna knew it wouldn't be that simple. She replied, "It's not so simple to put an end to this. Someone in the shadows is fueling the fire." Just then, they heard a sound like something breaking. Ginny's assistant suggested asking Sona to delete the messages, but Ginny insisted that he would handle it himself, saying, "Ginny, go for your work. I will take care of it." Ruth responded to Ginny's request with a sarcastic smile, saying, "Anything? What about sleeping with me?" Ginny replied, "You wish." Ginny and Ruth continued their conversation, with Ginny agreeing to her proposal for 10% of the shares in Global Entertainment. Ruth then pointed out that Ginny holds 55% of the shares, and if he sells them to her, he might not be able to remain as the chairman. Ginny asked Ruth if she was sure she could give up the shares. Ruth recalled their first meeting when a wealthy producer had treated her poorly during a fight scene on set. Ruth remembered a past incident when Ginny was dramatically beaten and injured during a fight scene, leading to an extended hospital stay. She was surprised that someone as arrogant as him had asked for help. Ruth was impressed by the fact that Ginny had been willing to give up everything for someone he cared about, which was a surprise considering his usual demeanor. She then asked him if he had finished speaking. Ruth wanted to know if Ginny loved Anna or if he was just using her for his own benefit. Ginny expressed his deep love for Anna and revealed that he was willing to give her everything, even though he felt he didn't deserve her. Ruth posted a clarification stating that the reason everyone was talking about Anna was that she had been in Ginny's room. This helped address some of the rumors and misunderstandings surrounding Anna's situation. Ruth assured Anna that she had cleared up the situation and that this was a good opportunity for Anna to gain fame and set the record straight. Anna might have been relieved that the misunderstanding was being addressed. Ginny appears to have shared something important with Anna and then warned her not to tell anyone about it. Ruth seems curious about what Ginny said, prompting Anna to consider whether or not to share the information with Ruth. It seems that Anna has contacted Ruth after seeing the forwarded microblog and wants to express her gratitude. It appears that Anna called Ruth to express her gratitude for forwarding the microblog post. After the conversation, Ruth asked Ginny if Anna was okay, to which Ginny replied that she wasn't doing very well. It seems that Ruth was just teasing Ginny about Anna's condition and that Anna sounded fine during their call. Ginny appeared to be quite worried about Anna. Ginny seems to be expressing his frustration with people who cause trouble and focus on gossip rather than acting. He mentions that he would punish such individuals severely if he found them. It seems that Anna suspects that Ruth's willingness to help might be because of Ginny. Mandy raises the point that Ruth is not familiar with them, and Anna considers that Ginny might be the reason behind it. Anna discovers a message sent by Ginny about a popular variety show, which was supposed to be attended by Shelley. This message suggests that Ginny might be addressing a potential issue related to Shelley and the show. Mandy suggests that Anna should be thankful to the person who spread the scandal, as it may have led to a positive outcome for her. This comment implies that the scandal may have benefited Anna in some way. Mandy appears to be a bit irritated with Shelley, as she points out that Anna's popularity has increased due to the scandal and that her name is trending on social media platforms. It seems that Shelley's plan to tarnish Anna's reputation backfired, and with Ruth's unexpected help, Anna has become even more popular as a result. It appears that Shelley's attempt to replace Anna as a guest on the show was unsuccessful, and the shooting continued with Anna expressing her anger towards Shelley for her actions. It seems that the director advised Shelley to focus her attention on Ruth instead of Anna. Shelley seems determined to create trouble and embarrass Anna on the show. Shelley seems to be expressing her sarcasm and anger towards Anna while thanking her for the photo. Anna's smile might have irritated Shelley. Anna seems to be confronting Shelley about the cancellation of her invitation to the variety show, and Shelley appears shocked that Anna knows about it. Anna seems to be revealing that she was invited to replace Shelley on the variety show and suggests that Shelley should stay calm and not let others mock her. Shelley appears to be extremely angry at this revelation. It seems that Ginny received a message from Ruth about the fight between Anna and Shelley, and he's visibly distracted and absent-minded during a meeting. The details of the meeting or his specific reaction are not mentioned, but it's clear that he's preoccupied with the situation involving Anna and Shelley. It appears that Ginny received Ruth's message and rushed to the shooting location. Ruth comments on his disheveled hair, indicating that he might have been in a hurry or emotionally affected by the situation involving Anna and Shelley. Ruth informs Ginny that Anna had a quarrel with someone, likely Shelley, but appeared to have won the battle. However, there might be a potential reprisal or retaliation, which is a cause for concern. The director is angry at Shelley for her poor performance during a seemingly straightforward shot. Ginny is likely feeling upset and frustrated due to the ongoing situation and the conflict between Shelley and Anna. Ginny seems to be expressing his disappointment with Shelley's acting skills, indicating that she has lowered her standard and is not performing well. He appears to be upset about the situation and critical of Shelley's acting performance. It seems that the director is not pleased with the performance and is demanding a reshoot. Shelley is embarrassed and angry about the situation. This indicates that there was a problem with the scene that was shot, and the director is not satisfied with the outcome. It appears that Shelley is blaming Anna for the issues on set and the director's dissatisfaction with the scene. Ruth suggests to Ginny that Anna may be hiding from him, and he is standing by her chair, possibly to confront her about the situation. The situation is getting tense, and there might be further conflict between the characters. It seems that Anna didn't show up as Ginny expected, and instead, she asked her assistant to gather her belongings. Ginny appears to be angry about the situation, and there is a sense of tension and conflict among the characters. The scene depicts Anna sitting on a swing and showing the despair of not being loved. However, during the scene, the swing breaks. This development adds a twist to the scene, and it seems that Anna's character will face some challenges in the story. Everyone was shocked as Anna almost fell from the broken swing. Suddenly, someone reached out and held her. Anna was bewildered, wondering why she didn't feel any pain. To her surprise, it was Ginny who had caught her. Stunned, Anna asked, "Why, Ginny? Why? Ginny simply inquired, "Are you okay, Anna?" Ginny, in his anger, instructed the crew to take Anna to the hospital immediately. The executive informed him about the medicine, assuring that no matter how severe the wound, it would leave no scar if they used it. Ginny, frustrated and angry, handed Anna the scar prevention medicine, disregarding the limited supply. Anna, perplexed, mentioned that the doctor had assured her there wouldn't be any scars. Ginny, in his anger, responded sharply, asking her to remember what could happen if there were a scar. Ginny, in his investigation, discovered that the swing broke because the prop team failed to notice the broken rope. Infuriated, he demanded a reasonable explanation for the oversight. Ginny, noticing the concern about his injury, replied calmly, "It's nothing. Just a scratch. Focus on fixing the swing and ensuring it won't happen again." Despite his dismissive words, Ginny's mind was still on Anna and the incident. Director replied sternly, "Don't thank me yet. Just ensure everything is taken care of discreetly, or none of us will be able to escape the consequences." Shelley nodded, realizing the gravity of the situation. Ginny replied, "It's fine. I'll attend. Just make sure everything is arranged properly. I don't want any issues, especially tonight." The executive nodded and hurriedly went to make the necessary arrangements. Everyone greeted Annie and her boyfriend. Anna, who was also present at the party, tried to maintain a composed demeanor, but deep down, she felt a mix of emotions. Ginny, who was at the same party, noticed Anna and couldn't help but glance at her occasionally. The atmosphere in the room became a bit tense. Anna forced a smile and said, "Congratulations, older Joe." The tension in the room lingered as Annie introduced her boyfriend to everyone. The crew members continued with their banter, but Anna couldn't shake off the discomfort she felt. Meanwhile, Ginny observed the situation from a distance, his thoughts seemingly veiled. Shelley, with a smug expression, said, "Congratulations on your sister's new relationship, Anna. It seems she's moved on from her crush on Mr. Luke quite quickly." Anna, trying to keep her composure, replied, "Well, people's feelings can change, can't they?" Shelley continued to taunt, but Annie stepped in, saying, "Enough of this. Let's not spoil the celebration with unnecessary drama." The atmosphere grew tense as the three women exchanged uneasy glances. Annie, feeling uncomfortable with the topic, replied, "I've seen it, but it's just baseless rumors. The media often exaggerates things." Shelley, with a sly smile, added, "Well, the rumors can't be entirely baseless, can they? There must be some truth to it. I heard they were quite close." Anna tried to keep her composure, not wanting to let Shelley get under her skin. She exchanged glances with Annie, silently asking her to change the subject. Shelley, trying to provoke a reaction, continued, "Well, who knows what goes on behind closed doors? People can be quite unpredictable." Anna, maintaining her calm, replied, "Shelley, it's none of your business. I suggest you focus on your own career instead of spreading rumors about others." Shelley, realizing she couldn't get a rise out of Anna, decided to drop the topic and join the others at the party. The person asked Anna, "Truth or dare?" Anna, feeling playful, chose dare. The person grinned and said, "I dare you to tell us about your most embarrassing moment on set." Anna, thinking for a moment, began to share a funny incident that had happened during one of her early shoots, lightening the mood and bringing laughter to the group. Anna, caught in a dilemma, hesitated for a moment. She wasn't comfortable with either option. She thought about the consequences of each choice. If she revealed her first sexual partner, it could lead to unwanted gossip and speculation. On the other hand, kissing a stranger on the street seemed risky and inappropriate. Ginny, noticing Anna's discomfort, chimed in, "All right, let's make it more fun. If Anna wins, we'll drop both dares. If she loses, she only has to answer a fun and harmless question. How about that?" The group agreed, and Anna felt a bit relieved at the modified terms. She was determined to win this game and avoid the awkward dares. As the game continued, Anna realized that she might have an advantage if Ginny stuck to his childhood habits. She decided to choose rock as her move. When it was Ginny's turn, he went for scissors, just like in the old days. Anna exclaimed with a triumphant smile, "Gotcha. Looks like I win." Ginny chuckled, "You remembered that, huh? Well played, Anna." The group laughed, and Anna felt a sense of accomplishment, having avoided the potentially embarrassing dares. The game continued, and Anna was relieved that the focus had shifted to lighter and more enjoyable questions and challenges. The short-haired girl, full of mischief, suggested, "How about we ask Mr. Liu about his most embarrassing moment?" And if he refuses to answer, he has to dance in the middle of the room. The idea sparked excitement among the group, and they all agreed with cheers and laughter. Anna found the suggestion amusing, thinking that it might be interesting to see Mr. Lu in such a predicament. She wondered how he would react to the question and if he would be willing to share a moment of vulnerability with everyone. The game continued, and anticipation filled the air as it approached Mr. Lu's turn. The revelation about Ginny's Junior 3 crush left Anna in shock. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. 13 years, was it possible that he had feelings for her all this time? The room was filled with a mixture of surprise and curiosity as everyone eagerly awaited more details. Ginny, unaware of Anna's emotional reaction, continued with a small smile, but, you know, it's just a silly teenage crush. Nothing serious. The atmosphere in the room shifted, and Anna struggled to process the revelation, wondering if there was more to the story than what Ginny was sharing. Ginny's admission that he still liked the girl from his junior years, coupled with the fact that he had never been with her, added a layer of complexity to the situation. The room was filled with a mix of emotions, wonder, speculation, and a lingering sense of curiosity. Anna, grappling with her own feelings, tried to maintain composure while contemplating the significance of Ginny's words. The truth had unveiled itself, yet uncertainties lingered in the air. The game continued, but Anna's thoughts were consumed by the revelation about Ginny's enduring feelings from their shared past. Ginny's revelation about his long-standing crush surprised everyone in the room. The reactions ranged from disbelief to admiration for the mystery woman who had captured Mr. Lu's heart for so many years. As the atmosphere lightened with laughter and teasing comments, Anna couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. She was aware of her own deep connection with Ginny, but the revelation added a new layer to their complex relationship. The playful banter continued, but Anna found herself lost in thoughts about the past and the unspoken feelings that had endured over the years. Ginny's voice resonated through the room, captivating everyone as he sang with heartfelt emotion. The lyrics seemed to carry a weight of personal experiences, and the atmosphere became more profound. Anna couldn't help but be drawn into the song, feeling the sincerity behind each word. As the song reached its conclusion, a lingering silence enveloped the room. The raw emotions conveyed through the melody left an indelible impact on everyone present. Ginny's performance had not only showcased his vocal prowess but also unveiled a glimpse of the depth of his feelings. The truth and dare game continued, but the ambience had shifted, and Anna found herself contemplating the significance of the song and the untold stories that lingered beneath the surface of their complicated relationship. Thank you for watching.